Hi, guys, and welcome to episode 8 of the Inner Circle podcast. I'm your host, Hashim, and joining me is my co producer and the faceless man, Guj.
How's it going, people?
Welcome, welcome. And we would like to welcome our special guest, immigration lawyer, social media star. It is none other than Harjap Bhangal. Harjap, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. Thanks for having me here. Good to be on young people's podcasts as
Young
well.
people, oh man, I
There's a young
appreciate
out
that.
there compared to us.
So, Harjap, thanks so much. I know you're a very, very busy man.
I am, but I always have time for these things because I always think that if I can educate someone or I can sit with someone and, be on their podcasts, reach out to their audience, and in my style, the humorous way that we do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because every day we're serious, right? You see immigration every day. It's very serious on the TV.
Yeah,
They make it look like as if, it's a life or death matter.
Yeah.
But, when the truth unfolds, we've been doing immigration for years. The world has been migrating for years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really good to be on and I'm interested to hear the youngsters sort of take on
We're
it
gonna
nowadays.
give you some POV
Yeah,
today.
yeah, I would like some your take on stuff as well, and it might turn out that in bits I'll be interviewing you guys.
I like it. No, but you know what? I've never been interviewed like that on the opposite. I'm always
because
the one asking the questions.
I really sort of in my interviews, I always like to hear your views and especially views of the audience. So
Yeah, and I think our audience is quite varied at the moment. Like even me and Guja, we've been looking at the stats. Like there's people of all ages who watch the show, and we want to kind of give people something which is not only entertaining but something which is educational as well, because we need something to walk away. Nowadays you get podcasts which are out there which aren't really. It's just everyone either giving dating advice or talking about relationships, communication, men's role, female's role.
Yeah.
We're here to kind of. Let's just talk, man, about life. Let's talk about our community. Let's talk about everything that's happening in the world.
Exactly. Let's talk
And
about
that's what we're all about.
things you see on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Whether it's funny, whether it's serious, and I think that's really important. And perhaps I'm often seen as a guy who bridges a gap between the older generation and you guys, right? Younger generation. So I'm that bridge, yeah. But the fact is, I'm really like to keep in touch with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Not one that's important for my job, but one word you said is community.
Yeah.
I need to know what's going on around in my community, what the take is, what people think. If times are changing, we have to change with it.
So is this the first sort of young person's podcast you've kind of sat on?
Yeah, because Doctor and Indy, I sort of don't class us younger, really. They're sort of my age, yeah. Even though Indy does look a bit younger.
Yeah.
But I sort of see him as like my brothers, yeah. As a sort of young. And I'd say you as like a brother, but you're probably like 20 years younger than me.
You're like an older brother to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
exactly.
uncle. I can't say that.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful,
No,
man.
no, don't, man. Not yet. Give me another 4 years. All right.
So, obviously, for our viewers back home, just to obviously get a little bit of background. So, Harjap is an immigration lawyer. He's very, very well known across social media for his comedic ways of handling immigration inquiries, I would say.
Yeah.
But also, he's also been on television advising a lot of people in regards to their immigration status and, trying to pretty much help people in our South Asian community surpass their problems, I guess, right? So could you, in a nutshell, just describe a little bit about your background, when you started, how long you've been in the game, and just a little bit about what you do day to day?
Yeah, despite when people hear my Punjabi and their views, I'm actually born in the UK. I'm born in a place called Essex, Romford. So I was sandwiched between Dagenham and Tilbury, which were both at that time National Front and BNP strongholds.
Yeah.
So if I ask you, like, growing up, what were your friends' names, at school?
Yeah.
You're going to say Devinder, Gurpreet, Gogi, Riaz, Javid, things like that,
Yeah.
Mine were Peter, Paul, Daniel, Dave, Rebecca. So I was the only Asian in my whole secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
So like from year, what they call it, 7 to 11, right?
Yeah.
So I was the only Asian there. It was rough time if people lived around my area. I didn't really see Asians growing up. In our town of Rainham, Essex, there were about maybe 20 Asian families in total in the whole town, right? We were in Zone 6 on the other end, just like, say, maybe, I don't know, Uxbridge is in Zone 6 on this end, right?
Yeah.
So first time I really experienced Asians, obviously in a Asian household, right? Mum and Dad were uneducated. Dad was a farmer. Dad came over in 1967. Mum came in later, in about 5 years after that. And then I was born in 75. So I grew up in that 80s, 90s era. for us, like, let me put it this way: to get a bag of atta, to get a flour bag, and like mircha and dhania and all of that, we had to go to Ilford and Barking, which was about 10, 12 miles away. Not like down the road like you guys. We didn't have a Farnham Road near us, yeah?
Yeah.
So our nearest Gurdwara was Barking as well, which is about 10, 12 miles away as well. And it wasn't nearby. So happily growing up and all of that. Then decided to come to uni in Kingston. And when I came to Kingston in uni to study law, because I didn't study law like, when you ask people now, like I'm sure you ask guests, why did you become a doctor? Why did you become a lawyer? Why did you become an accountant? They'll say, I had a passion for this. I had a passion for that. I did that. Do you know why I became a lawyer? My dad told me to. That's it, right? And I wasn't really willing to have the beats of my dad, or like disappoint him. So no one in our family had a degree. We're all from farming backgrounds. My mum is, and my dad is as well. Yeah. No one even passed their GCSE equivalent in India. Mm-hmm. So for Dad, it was a big thing. Dad said, look, son, I don't want you doing what I did. Go and get an education, and I want you to be a vakil. I didn't even know what being a lawyer was. Yeah. I went to uni to study law, went in Kingston, right near here in Surrey. And then I remember walking into like the dining room. First thing I see is all these apne bande with like these long Sadara Gil perms, and like the earrings. They got the earrings, the gold earrings, and the mucha, 6 foot geezers, And I thought, and I remember asking someone, I said, where do these guys come from? And they said, Wolverhampton. And I thought, what the heck? Where have they been? How comes I haven't seen these boys before? And they were like proper Punjabi, spitting the lyrics. I was always tight with my Punjabi because I used to watch a lot of Punjabi films. I used to listen to a lot of Punjabi music, Bhangra music. I used to listen to a lot of Hindi films, watch a lot of Hindi films, a lot of Hindi music. So I was always naturally good with my languages, which is quite amazing considering I grew up in a Gora area, right?
Of course.
So it was crazy. So when I came to uni, my Punjabi and my Hindi was better than a lot of the people who came from Birmingham, from Southall, from Slough, from Barking, Ilford. And like they used to think, you're very dissy, ain't you? And I said, but I've come from Ulgore. I said, mate, I don't know, maybe it's an anomaly or whatever. But it was out of Majburi because my mum and dad refused to learn English. Okay. And they probably still don't know it. Apart from this, dad, sorry, please, thank you. That's my mum's English all in one sentence. 40, 50 years, 60 years of English. So that's all of that. But so then I had to learn, obviously. I did GCSE Punjabi. And I remember I couldn't get any of the books for that. I had to come to Southall Verdi Brothers to buy a book for a textbook for that. One guy wrote it called J.S. Nagra. He's the guy who introduced Punjabi GCSE into our system, an A-level. And then I got an A in it. And then I did an A-level. In 93, I got an A in that. They didn't count my Punjabi A-level points towards my UCAS points.
Okay.
Because they said, no, sorry.
It's not certified.
Well, no, certified. And everything they said, sorry, no, it's your mother tongue. And I said, no, it ain't. I said, my mother tongue is English, but I speak Punjabi. And I said, all right, then why are you counting the white people's English language or English literature? Why are you counting that for there? And for that A-level, I had to read like books, like on poetry and stuff like that, and answer essay questions. But I got A's for it. I remember, this is probably one of the funniest moments, I was sitting, my Punjabi GCSE, and my Punjabi A-level, I sat on both. They hired out a whole school hall, and there was one seat in the middle of the hall for me, And there were 3 invigilators sitting at the top, like they do in exam time, right? And I remember going up to them and saying, well, why don't 2 of you go home? Because my copy, who am I going to copy here? There's no one to copy. I'm the only one in the bloody exam. And they go, that's not a bad idea, but the board says we have to stand here. We have to sit here. So it's funny. There's more invigilators than people sitting in the exams. I was the only one in my whole London borough of Havering in 91 and in 93 to sit Punjabi as an exam. And I remember my friends at a sixth form and at GCSE saying, that's not fair. Why are you sitting Punjabi as an exam? I said, well, you're sitting English, aren't you? And this was the attitudes that I sort of often at school I'd get asked, does your mum and dad own a corner shop? Do you have 6, 7, 8 brothers and sisters? That's how stereotypical it was. It was sort of tough sort of upbringing, I think. And then, like I said, when I went to uni, all I met was dissies. I discovered like my And you know what I felt? I felt like, these are my people.
Yeah.
And never seen a Gora since. Yeah. So then, after that, I went to work in Ilford. Tried to qualify as a lawyer. And I did eventually. Had a lot of rough times in that. And I was used and abused a lot in that. But finally, I became a solicitor. And because I was trained in immigration, I decided that's what I want to do.
But what made you actually go into immigration?
That's the only thing I knew, mate, at
Okay,
that time.
okay.
So one of the things that I knew, family law, I didn't want to do family because all I saw was upbringing families arguing and using the kids as a weapon.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to let you see the kids, yeah?
Yeah.
Or like, the bande, they would have the kids and then just leave the missus, not pay them any maintenance and stuff like that. And I thought, this is a proper headfuck. And I can't do this for the rest of my life. This is emotionally not. I remember dads coming up to me and crying and saying, Harjap, my ex-wife won't let me see my children. Yeah. When I do see them once a month in a contact center, they've been so groomed and brainwashed. All they do is swear at me and say, Dad, you're this, you're that, you're Rami, you're this, you're that. You left our mum, blah, blah, blah. You done this. I said, so why do you fight for them? Why every month do you go to court and fight for them? And do you go to see them when all you get is gala? Yeah. He goes, when they turn 18, I remember Dad saying this and I still remember it in my brain. Because when I turn 18, when then my child turns 18, I'm going to show him this file, this massive file. And I'm going to say, Put, I fought for you. This is the file. Your mum blocked every attempt. And I just want to show them. And there was something in that for me. And I thought, you know what? I just do not want to do this for the rest, like my family law. I used to get really upset. I used to come home and like my mum and dad said, my mood used to be off. My mum and dad just say, why is your mood off? I said, but I'm going to come take you to class or this. They go, that's all right. What the fuck are you fighting us for? Yeah. And then I thought, yeah, you're right. What am I fighting with you guys for? And then I trained in crime as well, so criminal law. But then I remember like in some cases I had to like defend people who were like not good people, man. There were people like pedos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I had to defend them and rapists. And I just thought, man, I don't really want to get into this. This is not what I want to do.
Sorry to interject there. I just wanted to ask, how did you know that they were guilty?
Man, you assume because they come up to you and they tell you they're not guilty, right? They're not even allowed to tell you so that you're guilty. If they tell you you're guilty, you just have to refuse to act for them. Yeah. Right. So that's what the law says, yeah? Mm-hmm. So, or you have to tell them, right, you better plead guilty then.
Yeah.
But if they say, no, I'm guilty, but I want you to say I'm not guilty, that's India Desi style tactics, isn't it? Back home. Mm. People go, and I had people coming to me as a vakil and saying, Tundas how to get me off. And I said, well, fucking how am I supposed to tell you? He goes, no, what's the point of having you as a vakil?
But the law's different here.
Yeah, I said, look, the vakil isn't supposed to totally manipulate and lie for you. Yeah, there's a victim in all of this. Yeah, that's the mentality up on him and they had. So then I thought, man, I don't want to do this. I want to do So then I thought, right.
How long were you doing that for them?
I was doing it for about 2 years, man. So I was training. Training took me 4 years to complete. I started a training in '98, and I didn't qualify till 2002.
Okay.
Qualified at 3 different firms, so I got the whole experience everywhere. I think I still hold a world record, man. So, I had all of that. Started immigration law, and then just started. I'll tell you what actually happened. Yeah, I went to work in Birmingham for a year. And the local Gurdwara there on Stratford Road. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of people who had a 28-day license. You're in a radio game. You know that before you get a proper license, you have to do these 28-day licenses, right?
That's right.
That's right. So there was the Gurdwara had a 28-day license.
Temporary one. I know what
that's
you're
it. That's it. And a lot of people now who've got radio stations, like even Agent Star and Nagrecha, what they call, and New Sound, whatever they used to be called, and Desi Radio, they all started off on 28-day licenses.
Yes, that's right.
Right. So 28-day license, and they said, Harjap, do you want to come and talk about law? And I said, who's going to listen to law, man? They go, no, just come and talk about law, about what you do. I said, all right. I went there, talk on 28-day radio station, started talking about law. Bro, they had 4 lines, phone lines, they're all lit up. And they go, our lines are flashing. And I said, why are they flashing? They go, they want to talk to you. And I said, all right, what do they want to talk to me about? They go, I don't know. They turned the lines up. They started asking questions on a 28-day race. Mate, and then I just started answering them because I had done immigration fully. I'd swallowed like the Bibles on this stuff, yeah. So I knew my stuff inside out.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was like so they just asked me questions and I just gave them answers back. Then the guys goes, that was amazing. I said, they go, Harjap, we could have done that for about 4 hours on non-stop. The phones are still flashing. I said, well, I've got to go and work, can I? And they said, well, why don't you come back next week? So I did it 4 weeks in a row. From there, I did my first radio show. Then when I worked in Ilford, I did the same for a person called Tari and Chaz, who own New Sound Radio. You know them well, right?
Yeah, I know.
So I'll always remember they're my bros, man. So we did it above a place in East Tab Station called Tilco Property.
Okay.
That was where we did it from. 28. They had a 28-day license, yeah. And so did that the same, talking about immigration, just chatting there. At that time, there was no DAB or anything like that, right? So it was all tuned through the FM.
But do you think like at that time it was a period of time where immigration was a hot topic for our community? Like at that point, like I'd say people of my parents' age or maybe my grandparents' age at that time in the early 2000s, it was a very big hot topic because a lot of people were still trying to immigrate into the country.
Actually, it's always been a big topic. Yeah, people from the 1970s till now. Have you ever sat down in an Asian family and had a chat for about 4 hours without the V word coming up? I'm not talking about a virus. I'm talking about a visa. I'm talking about a visa. Visa is the V word. Yeah, it's the V word. Yeah, that topic always comes up, especially when you're sitting with elders. As a kid, how many times did you hear the word visa in your hand? You must have heard it, right?
100%.
Right. And so when you're a kid, you're thinking, what the heck is a visa? Yeah. And like when you're even like a teen, you're thinking, what is a visa? You associate it with Barclaycard.
Yeah, of course.
But then when you get older, you think, bloody hell, man, our community is obsessed with this word.
They are.
So the visa word come up in every situation. I remember my dad talking about it when I was young. I remember my dad talking about it when I was in my teens. I remember my dad talking about it when I started my business. I heard my dad talking about it last week. Yeah,
Still.
So my dad's 84 and he's still talking about it since he came in 67. So you or your relatives or someone has always, and it's a big topic because essentially, even though you're born here and I'm born here, we are a product of immigration.
Yep.
Yeah, we are a product of someone down our family line decided one day, I've had enough of this country which I'm being born in, and I want to go outside of this country to another country to explore my options, explore my horizons, to better myself, to make my family. Now, when the early immigrants came here, like in the 60s and 70s, they didn't come here to live here, bro. I speak to all of them uncles, and you should speak to them as well because you learn a lot, and you should all speak to your elders and your parents and your grandparents. Ask them when they first came here what their plan was. Their plan was to work here 5-10 years, go back home.
Yeah.
Then what happened was they got into jobs, they called their wives over, then they had kids like us. Then we didn't want to go back to a country we weren't born in and didn't know. We started at school, our mates were here. We became a bit anglicized, mixed with our own. We created a whole new community called Brit Asians, right? So we are a product of Brit Asian. You're a British Asian.
Yeah.
I'm a British Asian. The faceless man, who has a face actually, by the way, he just doesn't show it.
He doesn't want to show
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I'm faceless. Right, but so he has got a face. He's not faceless. He's not like the Phantom of the Opera or the Elephant Man, right, or anything like that. Yeah, none of that. He's ਹੈਗਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਨਾਈਸ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਆ ਪਰ ਉਹ ਮੂੰਹ ਦਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਸ਼ਰਮਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੋਟੀ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ that's sort of like in the olden days in the Hindi films
that actually describes him. That's exactly what you are.
that doesn't happen anymore. The brides are like large on the video. That's the mundo who's going, what the heck's going on, man? Oh, man, I was crying away and saying, what's she doing? I've seen brides do all sorts at their weddings. Pull-ups, push-ups.
It's a bit out of control.
Our brides on shoulders, mate.
Yeah, it's out of control.
I was like, I remember I went to a wedding once. I said, oh, कौन है कुड़ी? मोढ़े हाथे भंगड़ा पाउंदी है. And I go, ਉਹਦਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਵਿਆਹ? I said, where's her prona? And he goes, oh, ਬੈਠਾ ਕੁਰਸੀ ਤੇ. I'm like, what the fudge is going on here, right? But yeah, women power. That floats your boat. Do it, mate. But yeah, so we are a product of immigrants. This conversation is always going to be there.
100%.
Right. And then in some cases, especially where I grew up, we were made to feel like immigrants more than perhaps others. If I'd have grown up in Southall, I would have felt less of an immigrant because I would have seen people like me around me. Yeah? But then we were made to feel like outsiders and immigrants. And then there were massive problems. with people with immigrants. You get a time when countries want immigration because they need it, and you get a time where people don't want immigration. They don't like it, like we're going through now. Yeah. So immigration is always a high demand and a low demand for that, and there's always many people who are for it and many people who are against it. So it's always been a hot topic for that. And I think a lot of us, many people watching the podcast, we're all products of immigration. That's the key thing to note. Yeah. That you are a product of immigration somewhere down the line.
I've never had anybody put it to me like that, to be fair. Like,
you are, bro. We're products of immigration.
We get told, oh, I'm British born. So, I'm born in the UK. I'm British.
Bro, Britain First, who are a far-right organisation, read their tweets, what their leader says, Paul Golding. He says just having a British passport doesn't make you British. A piece of paper doesn't make you British. Then what are we then? Then what are we? That does makes you answer, what are we? Are we Asian? Because when we go back to back home, you go to India, Pakistan. I don't have an Indian passport. I'm not born there. I don't have an Indian birth certificate.
Same here,
You don't have a back home, right? You don't have a certificate, whatever. A faceless man definitely doesn't. He has a nominee likha hona.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Right. It likha a faceless man. Jada mui nahi oda passport ki banna.
We are going to we're going to do a face reveal one day.
One day.
We're going to do the face,
like with the chunni. Kabhi kabhi song. Kabhi kabhi mere dil. You have to have that song in the background, bro.
You know what?
We did a face reveal.
You know what? He's onto something.
I'm onto something, man. You'll get loads of views for it. But then
we have to do it once.
And that day, I will do £5 shagun.
Like an 80s wedding video. Like how back
someone
in the day,
takes a chunni on.
and you got to have a nose ring in front of the camera.
You have a nose ring, bro. A massive one.
You know what, good.
Let's do it. You know what? Now we're going to take it on board.
No, we're going to get a sponsor for the nose ring. And I'm going to promote the jewelers as well. Yeah. You have to give it back afterwards. You're not ugly.
It's not going to be a gift, bro. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. We ain't that famous, bro. We can't go around harassing jewelers.
I think another part of what you're saying is so important. Obviously, the visa question, the idea of the whole of our identity crisis, our whole identity behind it. But I want to bring it back to the point of like your work and stuff.
Yeah.
How hard was it in those early years of your work to actually be a brown face?
Oh man, facing
in the civil service, in a law courtroom, were you shunned? Were you treated differently? Were there cases where you had people who would not want to work with you because you're a vakil of color?
The hardest thing for me was getting my training, was because other people did not want to help. Apne did not want to help me. Apne didn't want to help me. Gore didn't want to know. When I wrote off applications, I sent off. I remember in them days there was no email. You had to typewrite your letters out. I wrote out 400 odd letters, with stamps and envelopes in there, because that's the only way. I only got 2 replies. Even they were rejections. All the others didn't even bother replying.
Yeah.
I then thought, you know what, Dad? I actually had an argument with my dad. I said I wanted to be a teacher, Dad, but you made me say do vakili, and now I've got nothing. I'm sitting here, right? So Dad goes, all right, well, come and work with me. So I worked with him, and we used to fit windows. We went one day to fit windows at a solicitor's, and their phone was ringing. So I just picked the phone up, and I started talking in languages, So the solicitor he goes to my dad, he goes, what's your son do? And he goes, my son's got a law degree. And he goes, why is he fitting windows? And he goes, because no one will give him a job. And he goes, well, I'll give him a job. And that's exactly how I got my break. I went to fit windows at a solicitor's. Other than that, no chance.
How long ago was this?
This was in 1998.
That's amazing.
After I finished my degree, right?
Wow.
I found there's so many barriers that were created. A lot of them were by Apne Bande. But in the end, Apne Bande helped me.
Yeah, but dude, why is that in our industry? Like, not even industry, I should say, in our community. Why do Apne not like to help Apne? I don't understand that sometimes.
I have said this recently in a podcast, but Apne always sell Apne out. We're the first to pull each other's legs down. We are a nation of ladder pullers. We are jealous at each other's success. If you get successful, how many Apne Bande come up to you and say,
how'd you do it?
Yeah. Oh, well, no. Well done.
Oh, yeah, you won't get that.
Right. Why not? Right, why not? You won't get that. I'll tell you, if you're, right, imagine you're on DJ, an Apna DJ, and you're doing well. Who are your biggest threats, enemies?
Other DJs.
Other what DJs? Other Gore DJs?
Apne.
Right, Apne wedding DJs. If you're a wedding DJ, right? They will undercut you and your own customers. Yeah, I've had a lot of DJ friends, and they say, a lot of them say we keep our business to ourselves, because otherwise the Apne out there, people that are chill with, will go out and undercut them. cut me. I'm like, why are you chilling with them? They're like, you just got to play the game. Upney will undercut you. Yeah, right. If you open a shop in Southall, who's going to open a shop right next to you?
Yeah, no, the Upney will open
Right,
it.
an Upney next to
It's
you.
like the chicken shop analogy we were talking about
Yeah,
a few episodes ago. We had somebody on here. We were like, well, if you open up one chicken shop, 5 will open up.
Yeah.
Open up a jar shop. Yeah?
Yeah.
There's 10 which have opened up.
Right, and who opened all them jar shops?
Yeah,
Oh, Upney. Yeah, it's not the Gordy undercutting you. It's the Upney pulling each other's down. And so that's just the mentality that we have. Yeah, we pulled each other down to such an extent. Yeah, that the British Empire, East India Company, came to our country. Yeah, a handful of people, a few thousand people, ruled over what, 1 billion odd people. Yeah, by making us fight each other.
Yep.
And we were slaves to them. Who pulled the triggers when at the Jallianwala Bagh?
Upney did.
Wasn't Gordy.
No,
The Gora might have ordered it, but the Upney did it. The Upney could have turned around and just shot the Gora. I said, no. Upney killed their own people that they knew from their villages, their brothers and sisters and cousins, because the Gora said so. And I see that subservience still in our bones to this day. Yeah, being respectful is one thing. I respect this country. I respect the country for what it's given me and my family. I respect the culture of this country. Yeah, I respect that it's much more better quality of life I have here than back home. Because a lot of people say, well, if you don't like the country, go back home. I love this country. Yeah, but I'm not anybody's slave.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to be a slave. Yeah, I'm not going to be ordered around. Just because this country gave me a much better life doesn't mean I take all the shit I get thrown at me. Why should I? We got equal rights. Haven't we put into this country?
Paid taxes, freedom of speech.
Worked in the foundries, built the tunnel, Dartford tunnels and all of that. You know, worked in the bread factories, worked in the car at Dagenham and Fords. Haven't our people done that? Yes, they did. Don't our people drive the buses? Don't our people are the most hardest working industrious people probably in this country. Yeah. Right. So we work here, earn our right here, earn our place here to be British. And to then be told that just a piece of paper doesn't make you British, or by someone whose 4 generations have been on benefits, yeah, and has social housing, and my taxes are paying for that, that stings.
Yeah, of course.
That stings a little bit.
I've seen so many videos on social media, right, where you'll see all these, far right,
of course,
anti protesters against British Asian people. What they end up doing is they'll justify that, oh, these people are coming to take our jobs.
Yeah.
But they'll go, are you qualified as a doctor? Who do you call when you've got a problem? Mr. Brown, Mr. Patel, Dr. Khan, Dr. this person, Dr. Singh. You'll call these people when you've got an issue and you need to get medicine or you need to get treatment. But when it actually comes down to it, you're still sitting there cussing them pretty much.
And now the new one is, no, you're all right. The one on visas who came illegally, the boat people are wrong, right? But the boat people are only 50,000 a year, and this country sends 60,000 back, right? So actually, 50,000 people can't take over your country, right? Can't take over millions,
this country's
right?
too small.
Right. Can't take over this country, right? But what the real complaint is, oh, Britain's not Britain anymore. It's not the Britain I grew up in. Do you know why? Because there's more brown faces and more black faces. That's what they want to say, but they can't say it.
Yes, but
directly.
If you remove our community out of this country, the economy will collapse. Practically.
There are economies that immigrants uphold, right? So Uber, totally.
Yeah.
All your Uber drivers, Uber Eats, DPD, Amazon.
Yep. Royal Mail even.
Royal Mail. Hospitality. When you check into a hotel, always a brand face at the end of it, right?
Every airport.
Care. NHS. Airports.
Yeah.
There's a lot of industries that wouldn't even function. Yeah. Security guards in London, they're all ethnic minorities, right?
Yes,
Cleaners,
right. Yep.
they're all ethnic minorities, right? And if people say, oh, that's just London. All right, let's take another city. Birmingham. All right, let's take another city. Nottingham. Let's take another city. Derby. Let's take another city. Leicester. Let's take another city. Manchester. It's all the same. Glasgow. You can go from Glasgow all the way down to London. Name your major cities. Immigrants are there working hard, doing the jobs, that are low paid, that perhaps no one wants to do. And my response to them is, well, then why doesn't the British people do these jobs?
They don't have an answer for it.
Yeah, and there's no answer for it. There's no answer for it. Oh, I don't want to work for low money. Then why are you begrudging someone who is working for low money?
Yeah,
they're not hurting you. They're doing a job you don't want to do. You clearly say you don't want to do it for low money. So let someone else do it. That's how business works. That's how economies work.
This is one thing that they don't understand, and I think it's quite important to get that message out there, because you'll get a lot of there's hate out there still, but it's not there's no educated answer behind it. There's no logic. There's just whatever's instilled. Oh yeah, no, fuck them. They're for immigrants. They shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Oh, this is my country. They're not English.
So what are you
I don't claim to be English.
Yeah,
I'm a British Asian, but you can't say I'm not British.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Because we've got that right. We've got that right by birth. You can't take that away from us. Yeah. So I get other people like the other comment they always say, oh, if a dog's born in the stable, it doesn't make it a horse. So basically, you're calling us dogs, right? Well,
you must have seen a lot of stuff in the 70s and 80s growing up, though.
Yeah. I saw perhaps the skinheads, and the BNP, but even they had the gall to go into places like Southall and Birmingham and give it large and try and run in there. Then they got beatings, and then they got sent back. There was a Munda called Gurdeep Jagga. They stabbed him, killed him.
Yeah, I actually shot that.
In Southall.
Wedding.
In Southall, right? Yeah. They did that, right? Poor little Munda.
That was on King Street.
Singada Munda on King Street. I know, my office was on King Street. I was on King Street for like 17 years. Then there was a protest against that, and the police killed a teacher called Blair Peach. Yeah, that's right. That's in Southall, where our gut is at this time. I want you to go in this episode, find the tweet from Paul Golding. He's put a photo of Southall Nagar Kirtan up. I said, look at this, disgusting. There's all these people have been taken over Southall for about a Nagar Kirtan. We can't even do that now. That's all we do on Nagar Kirtan is feed everyone and preach a message of love. Yeah,
and it's done within 2-3 hours anyway.
Right, it's done.
Yeah,
like it's in our backyard. Yeah. So we can't even do that. Yet the disgusting part for me, there are Sikhs standing with the far right. There are Sikhs standing with reform. They stood for election for reform, despite the fact that 3 weeks ago, a guy stood for reform in the elections. Yeah. He had said about the rape of a Sikh woman, good, reap it. If a party is letting a person like that stand and get elected, and he won, and he's only just resigned, they didn't kick him out, he resigned. They didn't say, right, you said this, we're going to kick you out. He resigned because of all the pressure.
And the backlash.
Yeah, the backlash that the Sikh community, not only the Sikh community, the Muslim community, the Sikh community, and the Gore, the backlash that they gave him. Yeah, we all gave him the backlash, so he resigned on that. Richard Tice, and I want you to find the soundbite about this, yeah, was asked about that on TV, just ignored the question. And I've debated Richard Tice in Oxford and beat him, right? So how, as a British Asian, can you stand with the people who are cheering on for the rape of your sister,
of your
right?
own.
Of your own, right? Now, a lot of people will say, well, let's equate that to the grooming gangs, yeah? Mate, I call them out as well. I call everyone out. A harami is a harami. It doesn't matter what outfit he wears, whether he wears a Muslim outfit, whether he wears a Sikh outfit, whether he wears a Hindu outfit or a Christian outfit, yeah? It doesn't matter where he goes to pray. There are wrong ones in our community, and these are the people we need to get out of our communities.
There's wrong ones in every community, and I speak to a lot of people about this. And for me, what's important is to remember that we still come from one country. It's just a border that divides us. Our culture, I look at Punjab, yeah, for example. Punjab, whether you're from the Pakistan side or from the India side, does not make a difference. And the mother tongue is still the same. The cultural understanding, the way we do things, the way we have our culture as a whole. And I've been to both sides of Punjab. I cannot see the difference other than maybe you're Sikh, there's a Muslim, that's about it. But being a Punjabi, for example, is the same.
It doesn't even go to that. You can extend it to being brown.
Yeah.
Right. So why am I so different from a Sri Lankan, or why are you so different from an Afghani? Yeah? Or aren't we just all the same? Aren't we just people who just want to get on?
Yeah.
99% of this world just wants to get on in peace, make their life, earn their bread, raise their family, and that's it. Look after their parents, that's it. And there are always going to be 1% troublemakers who make trouble for their own personal gains.
That's all it is. It's just division
they're
just
the
for the
haramis,
sake of making money or to try to...
They're in the minority. The problem is when people focus on certain groups and then give everyone a bad name. Yeah, and then it's always about a class problem, brother. It's not about actually, if you look at the grooming gangs, the problem are men. It's a male problem. There are white grooming gangs, there are Pakistani grooming gangs, there are Sikh groomers, there are Hindu groomers, there's rapists from every sort of community. So it's the men. It's not the women. The problem is actually men. But now it's turned into people are pointing fingers at a religious problem. Yeah. What happens is, what we should do is identify these wrong-uns in every community and just like, make extra, and just say, look, ostracize them. So you are, live out the area. Don't come in our areas, man. Don't give us a bad name. Yeah. Why should these people be allowed anywhere near our kids or anywhere in? And I feel for the white girls as well. 100%. I feel for them more because they were picked on because they were in broken families and they were in social services. They were specifically targeted. And that's wrong. That's wrong. No decent Muslim will say that these people are right. No decent Muslim will say people are right. No religion teaches this. Yeah. No religion teaches anyone to inflict any zulm on anyone. Exactly. That's what it says. Every religion preaches peace. That's the peace and love.
Yeah, so that's the religion aspect. But I think there's this thing where it's a more of a South Asian cultural thing. They've got this like dirty adat where it's like it's that pervy way.
Now you're coming on to what I want to say. Yeah, now you're spitting facts. Now that's good. It's good. I want you to say this
because it's something I have seen it,
bro. I wouldn't take my daughter down King Street or my wife down King Street now. Yeah, I know when I go after 6 o'clock, there are people standing on the corners, 5 or 6 men group at a time. There, standing there, scratching their nuts, perving their eyes out, even at the auntia who walk past. I have women coming to tell me saying, Harjap, we can't walk to the Gurdwara, we don't feel safe. So I used to work on King Street, right? And on Havelock Road, which is Good Nanak Road, we had to shut down the alley that goes to Hammond Road because there were sexual assaults there. Who were committing those sexual assaults? We weren't Gordon in Southall. It was Uppany. Yeah, it was Uppany. It was so disgusting. Yeah, it's so disgusting.
How many cases have you worked on like this? Have you had to work on cases like this?
Loads. I get people sometimes asking me to defend them, and then obviously I don't do criminal law.
Yeah, of course.
So I have to pass on someone's number, but they're like, "But you mari galti ho gayi." And it's sick stuff that I see. I sit there and I'm physically sick in my mouth, and I have to just look at them. But they're saying, there's cases of sexual abuse against stepchildren, sexual abuse against.
Yeah, but how can they sit and say they're mari galti hogi? Like it doesn't make sense.
That's what they try and defend it, bro. They try and say, yeah, galti ho gayi. Nahi, oh, I jhoot bol diya. मैं क्या ऐनिया चीज़ां medical हुई है. I don't think there's a झूठ हुई है ना. It could be that you're no, मैं तुम्हारी गुस्से जाके, गुस्से जाके what? You broke your wife's arms. What the heck? Because things back home, they're acceptable. Women are suppressed back home. Yeah. There's a reason why our parents left that country back home. And there's a reason why the elders say you're lucky to be born in the UK.
Yeah.
My dad used to say it all the time.
My own grandfather
says it.
Even my dad said it to me. You know what I mean? Like for me, it was just like I never understood it when I was younger. But as I've gone, like I've surpassed a certain age, I've now understood like actually the value of what. And then not only that, for me, it was visiting.
Yeah.
That's what for me is what changed everything.
That's when it hits home.
Yeah.
When you go back home and you see that, and all you've grown up with your life is balle Punjab, apna Punjab hove, Punjabiyan di shang, vakri Punjabiyan di balle balle. You listen to all these songs and you think, man, it must be wicked back home because they paint a picture of everything. Yeah, in the films, it's wicked back home.
Fields,
everything, man, tractors and all of that, and loving it, the cars and all that, all the suits and stuff, and you think, yeah, it must be wicked. Then when you go home and you see child poverty, you see a caste system which suppresses people on the basis of where they're born,
yes,
and into what family name they're born into, right? You see parents not being looked after, yeah. You see brothers fighting against brothers over a piece of land, not even the size of this table.
That's right.
Ready to kill each other.
Yeah,
yeah. You see greed and the corruption. You try getting your own money out of a bank in India, mate. It takes ages. You try putting it in, they'll come to your house to take it in. Yeah. You see fake documents being made. You see the corruption by the police where they lift someone, they could detain you, they could kill you. And that happens back home. Just because it hasn't happened to us doesn't mean that we should ignore what's happening to others. Yeah?
Agreed.
Right. Bodies disappearing. Yeah. People disappearing. Politicians and corruption. The way you have to go over there and kiss their feet to get anything done. Yeah. It's how the mighty rule there and how the poor people are just treated like shit, basically. There's no life. Their equality. Things you would have expected it since independence to get better. But actually, I think they're pretty much at a standstill. So
There's no difference since 1947.
yeah, people in the cities are saying, yeah, okay, we have a good life. You might do, but that doesn't mean everyone's having
But I'll be honest, yeah, I have
life
seen
everywhere.
there are some people there who live a better life than us.
Bro, there's people.
The rich are rich and the poor are poor.
I know. I've got friends who only come to London on a weekend to shop at Selfridges. They blow. I'm not joking. Yeah, they blow about 150 grand on a shopping trip. 150 grand. I wouldn't even spend that on a car.
You know what I mean?
These people spend it on Selfridges bags, and they spend it and they go back home. And they go, and I always say, why come you don't want to live in England? I don't live here. Got life back home. We've got knocker, chucker, cook, cleaner, gardener. They say, who's a cook, cleaner, gardener, dishwasher in your house? I said,
Me.
I said, me. And guess what? I don't get paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're not going to pay for it.
Yeah, so exactly, right? So this is the level of disparity. You got the elite who are very, very rich, yeah? And you got the rest of the country who are pretty much
Yeah, but
poor.
I don't understand. You know, even in here, like, what the mindset is, you know, just going back to what you were talking about, how some people still, like, the up and it are the problem as well at the same time when
Yeah.
it comes to committing these crimes. Like, it comes back to the exact same point that I had. I was like, you know what? There is still that, you know, that inside them, there's that, it's not, I wouldn't say dissiness, but there's that something which I can't give you the word for it, but it's like,
It's the we can do anything and get away with it.
yes,
That's the mentality.
yes,
Because, don't worry, we can buy the police off.
we're a
We can
man.
buy lawyers off. Yeah.
They'll
we can
believe
buy
us because
doctors
we're a
off.
man.
Yeah. I can do this. Yeah. I can impose my customs in this country. That's why so many get in trouble.
But it never works.
Yeah. Of course it doesn't. Of course, ultimately you get caught, right?
Mm.
Right. There are people like, I'd say there's a lot of Southall driving around without even a license, bro. Without even insurance.
What? So
Why would you do that? We wouldn't even think of doing that. But there's people
try their luck in it?
wait until they get caught.
Then they'll think, "Oh, sorry."
And then they
sorry.
think, yeah, till they can like, can I pay the policeman? No, not really, mate. Yeah, but not even like a PC Verma or PC Sync. And I said, nah, they're not having it. They'll probably do you more harder.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's that mentality that you can buy everything can be done. There's a shortcut for everything. Remember, this is a mentality that's taken 3,000 years to build. You're not going to get rid of it in 30 days.
Never.
This will take 3,000 years to get rid of. So that is that mentality there of corruption that's seeded in, and bureaucracy.
And I think that's what gives us the bad name.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
it's those other than that the bits, those tendencies that they have is what causes that.
Yeah, and it's us as well, because what we do, we bury our head in the sand. We're very quick to point fingers at other communities. When up and I do it, it's like, nah, jal koi gal nahi, ho gaya. Yeah. If we call out everyone, that's fair. And I think that's where the British people get upset. And by British, I don't just mean English. I mean, we get upset about it as
Yeah.
well. I'm like, so if one of your own does it, it's fine. But if someone else does it, you kick up a fuss. Yeah. So there's got to be equality.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we are a garm of ladder pullers and door closers, as I call them. And we're like crabs in a bucket. We pull each other down, Don't let anyone get there. And also, look at the other issue, cleanliness. Why is it that every Asian area has got fly tipping? It has, right?
It's another level.
Right. Especially in the hood areas.
Yep.
Right? You have it on the Farnham Road areas and all of that, right?
Big time.
Mate, the mattresses. Why the heck would you shut a
Sofas,
mattress?
mattresses, dining
Everything-
tables,
yeah,
there's
everything
all
is
sorts of
fly-tipped,
things.
right?
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence, is it? That
That's a lot of effort.
right, then you go, yeah, right. It's just the culture that they brought up. Because in the villages, you have this deer where you throw your kura. You just think someone else is going to come and pick that up. Why can't you go to the tip and drop it off like every other decent people?
Some
Like
people
women
don't know
do.
where it is. They
Oh,
don't know how
now,
to do it.
yeah, I'll leave it out. Right, then find out where it is. So you can come from India and Pakistan, you know where Sultan is and Slough is, all thousands of miles in a plane. You find your way there, and you're from Slough and Southall or Handsworth and Smethwick or Manchester or Luton, you can't find yourself to a local fly tip, especially with a phone. When you're job weekend, these guys are on their phone.
It's ignorance.
Mate, don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Not my responsibility. That's what it is. That's also
This
what
country owes me
mate,
nothing.
and this is why a lot of upbringing, the older upbringing
Mm.
who came here, yeah, and even people of my age, like in their 40s and 50s, yeah, they don't like the new immigrants because they say, right, the art the way they carry themselves is not good, the way they speak is not good, their attitude's not good, right? And like I said, a lot of them perv.
They don't integrate, I would say, like how our families, generations have done so. And that's the one thing I've kind
What
of
do you
seen.
call integration, though?
By
Rob?
integration, like how we as communities, like we can go and we can be amongst like British white people, black people, we can be amongst them and socialize in a setting.
That's because you're born here.
Yeah, but I'm saying even those as immigrants, I look at people like whose parents and grandparents came. They came to the country. They made the effort. They made the effort to learn English and to go to these places, to socialize and be with these people, educate themselves on cultural activities. I look at, for example, in the like my dad talks about in the 70s and 80s how they used to have street parties for Jubilee,
Yeah.
and how the Asian families on the street would come and integrate and be part of the street parties. That's integration. But these guys, they come here. They stick in their own little groups in their communities, and they don't surpass anything else.
That's because as over time, money becomes king. The sole purpose is money. When money becomes your sole purpose, you block out every single other aspect. If your sole purpose is making money, you don't give a shit about anyone else. They don't give a shit about... Same with billionaires. They don't give a shit about people like you and me. Do you think the brown billionaires or millionaires care about people like me and you? They don't care. They don't care. The first thing, when I get some money, imagine someone lives on a slough, right, in Chalvey, yeah? Or someone lives in Handsworth, yeah, in Birmingham. Or someone lives in Southall, in the hood. If I made £1 million, what's the first thing I'd do?
Send it back home.
No, I wouldn't.
Buy a house
That's right. Where would I buy a house?
in the area that you want to live in.
Which
Southall.
is what? No.
South.
Jared's
Slough.
Cross.
Jared's Cross.
Yeah.
Bang.
Oh, okay.
Faceless man. Faceless
Wait,
man.
Jared's
Right,
Cross is the one.
Jared's Cross.
Right. I'd buy Garrett's Cross, yeah. Ivor. Yeah. What the other areas around there?
So,
Beaconsfield.
Denham, all of that.
Beaconsfield,
Yeah. All of
The
the nice posh
affluent
areas, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Richings Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
From Handsworth, I'd go Solihull. Yeah. Sutton Coldfield.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Got all the nice areas. If I got £1 million, why would I want to live in Chalvey?
Yeah,
I wouldn't, right? So there, I've automatically thought, I don't want to live in this Gund. Even though you spent 30 years contributing to the Gund. Yeah, you are from the Gund. All of a sudden, everything becomes Gund.
Yeah.
Yeah? They're not your brothers anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not your neighbours anymore. I'm going to go in and roll in different circles. I'm going to live in Garrett's Cross. Yeah? I'm going to get new neighbours. We're a better class than you. Then we sit in Garrett's Cross, and then guess what we do? We point fingers at our old area and say, what a shithole. I'm glad I left that shithole. I'm glad I left that shithole. That shithole gave you your money.
Yeah, yeah.
It gave you education. Yeah. It gave you a school. Yeah. It gave you a life. Gave your parents refuge. Let me tell you an alternative, right? Instead of letting these places being shithole and run to affluent areas, because that's what I call it cowardice. Yeah. Why don't we spend time just keeping our areas clean? Why don't we say to our road people, all our neighbours, apni ik road saaf rakhni hai. Yeah? Kisi nu gand nahi paun dena itthe. If every road and people who live down that road did that, do you think them places would be brilliant places to live in?
Amazing.
There'd be no Reese like it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Right? We're not going to let druggies on our road. We're not going to let alcoholics on our road. We're not going to let perverts on our road. We're not going to let anyone fly tip on our road. We're not going to let anyone double park on our roads. Yeah? We're not going to let anyone drink or drive on our roads. All of that. Yeah? How good would it be, an area to live in?
Amazing.
Southall. Right, so our parents back in the day, there was a sense of that.
There was a big community in Southall back in the
Yeah,
day.
and in Slough.
Yes.
Right. So then why have we let these areas deteriorate? And why have the people just given up and said,
It's just
right,
like what
I'm
you
moving on?
said, because I would say to you on that, I would look at people in my generation or just slightly older than me who've then their parents had that sense of community. What they've ended up doing is, and I see it a lot in relationships and as people get married, oh, I don't want to live with the parents, or I don't want to live here. It's that whole cowardice. We want to kind of go out to more affluent areas because they've educated themselves. They've got themselves a much better high-paying corporate job. They've become doctors, lawyers.
They don't want to bring their
accountants.
kids up in the area.
Yes, that's
In
correct.
the area where they grew up in.
That's correct.
Right.
But look, I
And
understand.
guess why? Because crime is high. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because there's drug abuse, alcohol abuse. Yeah. Because you're worried about your kids being sexually assaulted. Yeah. But who are the people? It's not Gordy from outside
People
doing
in
that.
the-
It's up on it.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
up on it, right?
Like-
We've let our own areas degenerate and deteriorate.
It's like when you go to a wedding, like there's always the running joke about the dirty pervy uncle at every wedding.
Yeah, we've allowed
Yeah,
it.
that right? Yeah, good. Look, you shot how many thousands of weddings? Yeah, like there's always one dirty pervy uncle.
I don't
Are
think
you trying to say all his uncles are dirty?
Well, I thought I was
In New Zealand,
Oh, and there- I was talking about him.
he's not an uncle yet.
Job, have you ever seen belly dancers come out at weddings?
What? Wait.
No. Let's just think it. Right?
Yeah,
They come out at weddings, right?
I've seen two events.
Where that's happened, right?
Yeah, I saw one like a Addi Nangi dancer. All she had was a kachi and a banana. Yeah, Timmy. She was in this like
Martini glass.
Martini
Oh,
glass.
I've seen one of them.
You seen that?
Bro, I was baffled. That was for some uncle's 50th birthday. I saw that for.
Bro, I remember I saw that, yeah, and I thought, what the fudge? If I had that at my party or whatever, I'm like, am I supposed to sit with my daughter doing that, looking at that, or even with my missus? My missus would kill me. She'd go, "Aagi kanjar khanne chale aaye tusi." That's the first thing she said. Imagine sitting with your mum, and then that comes out. You've seen that one, yeah? Well, we should show the clip in there.
No, actually,
we're going to show the clip in the podcast.
But there is one. I
so,
saw it online.
so that people know what we're on about. Yeah. So they should. So that, yeah. So yeah, you're saying belly dancers, bro. Man, to belly chad sara kuch jelly bhi dekhi hua. Yeah. I mean, so when you lot see that, how do you lot react?
Well, I'm always behind the camera, right? So for me, I just
You're probably loving it.
I'll be honest. I'm
They're at the blood pressure.
No, but it's not even that. I don't know where to look. I'm
Yeah,
one of them. You know, when you're with your family, like your grandma, your auntie, or your mum, or even your sister, like, where do you look? Like, how do you look?
You get secondhand embarrassment, low key. Because if that was my
I
dad,
think that's secondhand embarrassment. That's a good one.
Because it's like you
Good
go, like,
phrase,
where
that
do
is.
you look in it? Like,
you can't look
where
in
do you
it.
look? Or how do you look?
and the worst one is you haven't been to a Punjabi wedding in India, right? Punjab will know this, right?
Oh my
to
God,
one.
the dancers out of there.
Yeah.
And the way they move their luck, like thrusting their bloody hip
yeah,
into the uncles' faces and all that.
Yeah.
And there's about 50 uncles all like throwing their notes at them and all that. Yeah, and you get the fake Diljeets and the fake Jazzy Bees and all that. Yeah,
I've
they're
seen
usually with
that.
them people.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, bechara lagga hunda gone. The dancer sare paise kamaunਦੀ hai. Like with a hip thrusting and all of that.
It's true. I've seen it.
you know, the thing is,
That's the norm.
we had a family wedding, right?
Yeah.
I didn't end up going, but my dad was telling me at the time. He goes, they've called those hoes down, right? And he goes, basically, we thought it was all right because we're all with the family. We're just chucking these notes, right? All the cousin sisters were so angry that, you know, we're in a family party.
Yeah, you're objectifying women. Yeah.
In front of your kids.
And she was like, we didn't know. Cause
The kids don't know. They're dancing with them.
Yeah.
They don't know. They've got little, like,
You
little
get the uncle
6,
say, go
7-year-old.
dance with
Oh,
her.
yeah, he's going, yeah, munni badnaam hui. Darling, tere tanu main dasda munni.
What do you mean, man? The uncle's encouraging you. Go dance with her.
Dance kar mar
Yeah,
la
like that.
koi gal nahi.
Yeah.
Teri bhabhi lag rahi hai.
And if I saw a Bollywood film recently, Durandar, right?
Yeah.
With there in
The
Pakistan-
Shararat song.
Yeah.
Shararat se
Even before that, do you know the other one where Ranbir Kapoor gets the gun out and because he tries to shoot those guys?
Yeah.
They've got the Khusre,
Yeah.
right? So Khusre are wedding,
Oh, they're dancing. Yeah.
and it's just so strange, and all the men are like loving it, and you're like, so you lot
That's
get
like
it.
cultural,
Right. Actually, listen to this, yeah? So we bulk at like when women do something provocative, yeah?
Yeah.
We come from a country where literally when you go India and you have a function, trans people come up to your window or your car window, yeah, and demand money off you. They literally like bully you into giving money, or they're gonna give you a curse. Yeah, what the heck? That's the community we come through.
Yeah.
We come from. Yeah,
Mad.
yeah. Or ठीक है. नहीं वो तो culture है तक चाहिए यार.
But what if it's
When
your
you
own
come
son?
here, if a kudi bichari shows a goda, oh my God, forget it. So we are double standard in that way.
Yeah, but like they don't want to hide. They're happy for it to be culture, but if it's their own son or daughter doing that, like that's it. Shut
Bro,
up.
I'm telling you, I'm 51 now. Yeah, I even haven't understood our culture, and all I do every day is see people from our culture. For the last 30 years, all I've done is seen apne bande, 20 apne bande a day, yeah, from different countries. Mere gal ch nahi samajh aayi dimag ch tak. Just when I think I've worked it all out and it can't get any worse, someone comes in and proves me wrong. And you see that with the TV show.
That's only how people,
Yeah,
innit?
and
Only how people think it's like that.
remember my TV show, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so every time you hear a caller, another 2 weeks later, you get another caller which is even worse, another caller which is even worse, and I'm
Just top
thinking,
it.
where is this going to stop? Where is this going to stop? So I listen to that mindset, yeah? And that's important because Gore pick up on that mindset as well. So that's when recently I began, I say that, after about 2010, so about 16 years ago, I started making the shift from Apna media into mainstream.
Okay.
And then I thought, right, I've got to put the point of my community, my people, across into the spaces of the British media.
Why?
So, because I felt that we need to speak out for them. instead of letting us being stereotyped. Yeah, we need to tell them that this is what we're about. This is what we do. Actually, you labeling every single one of us a rapist or freshies or whatever, backward or sexist or misogynist, that's wrong. Yeah, we do have people like that in our community, but then so do you. Yeah, right. So why is it just because we're a different color, you concentrate on us? Yeah, and this is how the media works in this country, bro. It's how it works in this country. When you realize the media across the whole world is owned by about 5 or 6 billionaires, they all live offshore. Yeah, that to avoid tax. Yeah, they're not even resident in this country. They talk about patriotism. How patriotic are you if you leave your country, not even a resident, just to avoid paying tax? That tax is supposed to belong to the British people. That is supposed to help with the NHS. That is supposed to help with housing. That's supposed to help with your potholes. That's supposed to lower your taxes. Yeah, that money.
That's how the rich stay rich.
Let me tell you, bro. Apple, yeah, Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla. If you take a year of their profits to one side, just 1 year, they said all our profits of 1 year to one side, you could end world poverty. World poverty. They won't do that because they have no reason for the poor to be alleviated from poverty. Instead, what do? They buy the media. They then make poor people hate poor people. A poor British person who lives in a council house on benefits, yeah, is made to look at a person who comes here on a boat with just a shirt and a mobile phone in his hand. He's told he's the enemy. Not the guy who's avoiding tax and not paying and who's paying you a low wage, doesn't want to pay anything and wants to make millions and billions and keep it. This media is controlled by billionaires who have an agenda. Even now you can see it. Anyone who talks about the father of the poor or speaks out of the poor, they basically gang up and they just take him out.
It's a deflection off themselves. So they can take away basically the limelight off of them and what they're doing wrong, basically,
Totally,
right?
totally. It's proper deflection tactics.
Have you faced any sort of propaganda or any like backlash from being on mainstream media as a British Asian?
All
like,
the time. All the time.
Give me an example like of a real like a story that you like.
Bro, it happened 2 years ago. So when the riots happened, the far right riots, right? So they published on an app called Telegram, I'm not even on that app, right? A list of immigration lawyers and human rights lawyers who work with immigrants, yeah? So my name, my office, my details were all on that list. They then told far right groups, we're going to go to these offices and we're going to target these people. Proper like back in the 70s and 80s, like they were marching on Southall, yeah? So that morning, yeah, I got a call from the police saying your details have been doxed, yeah? The police got an undercover person in these groups, obviously, right? Police are everywhere, right? So they've got their networks. They said, your details are in there. They're going to come to your office in Brentford and you're a target for these people. So I thought, right, what do I do? First thing I did was send all my staff home, yeah? Second thing I did, I spoke to the police and I said, what are we going to do? And he goes, well, not just for you, but they want to meet up at Brentford Station and Syon Park Station and Osterley Station. These groups are marching. You know? So we're going to have police at the top of Great West Road, where the home base is, and Nishcom School and the Tesco's is, and at the bottom where the Miller building is. Yeah. So there. I go, we're going to, obviously. And they said, it's best if you go home. And I said, why should I go home? Why? And I said, these people, that's what they want. They want to force us out. And they go, you're at risk. And I said, I don't care. I'm not leaving my office. I said, all right, we can't force you to leave the office, but you need to know you're at risk. We're not going to go out if something happens, it happens. And I said, yeah, if it happens then, yeah? But and it force us out of our home. Tomorrow they'll march on our Gurdwara masjids and mandars and force us out of there. In fact, do you remember the riots, the Southall riots, when they were coming to the mosques and the Gurdwaras?
That's right.
I reported on them. So I reported for a TV station, Sangat TV, on there. All night I was there doing my reports for 2 days. One in Birmingham I did one day in Southall. And it was all Appane Bande protecting Appane Bande. And I remember there was an incident and I covered it. Yeah. And do you remember where the boy was killed in Birmingham near the petrol station?
Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah,
I was there. I was covering that as well. I saw his dad's speech. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was during Ramadan.
Yeah.
As well. Roses again, right?
That's right.
And where the dad said, look, we're not going to have any comeback. It doesn't matter. Yeah. The riots happened. Yeah. There were groups going around in their code saying all Popeye meet at Southall Broadway. And I don't know what Popeye meant. I thought it was that chicken place. Yeah, or Popeye the Sailor Man. That's what it means. But it actually means like all the hench people, that's code, must be what you kids use nowadays, meet out there. We're going to go and loot the shops and attack all the... And I remember during the night, we were on Southall Broadway and outside the mosque, and the Muslims wanted to pray. And the Sikh Munde said, don't worry, tusi apni nawaz paro, we'll guard your masjid for you. And we were guarding all the gurdwaras and all the mandars. Yeah. In the end, nothing kicked off because they saw the numbers. And when they saw it on TV, these gangs who were going to come down, they saw the numbers. They thought, look, we don't want no trouble there. Yeah. And so they concentrated on other areas, right? But so I'd seen all of that and been in there. So I'd seen how it all kicks off. And this time you had far right people encouraged by the likes of Paul Golding, Tommy Robinson, yeah, and the upbringing that are with them, yeah, who were immigrants themselves.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. They didn't come here on an invitation. Anyone who says I was invited here by this country, yeah, like some of the elders do, some of the racist elders do, I always say to them, show me your letter signed by the Queen, saying Jarnail Singh, Ishfaq Khan.
Yeah, it's true.
ਤੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਟਾਂ ਹੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਲਾਉਣਾ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਮੁਲਕ ਚ ਆ ਤੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਮੁਲਕ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲ ਸਕਦਾ where is it they go no they said it verbally I said yeah of course you did ਤੇਰੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਫੋਨ ਲੱਗਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਨਾ 1960 ਚ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਟੈਲੀਗ੍ਰਾਮ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ 에ਅਰਮੇਲ ਬਲੂ ਲਿਫਾਫੇ ਵਾਲੀ ਲੈਟਰ and Queen Elizabeth ਨੇ ਕਿ and I said please we can't do without your ਬੰਦਾ from Kashmir that ਤੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਨੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਮੁਲਕ ਦੀ I said actually you all came for a better life which is what people are coming from back home now from, right? So it's at that stage they were these groups had all met up at the station. They were all coordinated, and I stood there and I just stayed there all evening. Luckily I got good friends at Sky News, so I should invited them. So Ashish Joshi, you might know, is a famous Sky News presenter. He came down and he goes, Harjap, I'm going to sit here and film it with you. I'm going to do a live from the office. So there's a live from that. You might remember for 15 minutes I spoke on Sky News in that evening about these marches. Yes. There were counter marches, right? And that speech went quite viral. And I just said, just leave us alone. We just want a simple life. Yeah. You know, we're family people. Yeah. Why are you targeting us lot? Yeah. And if you want to target us, then we're not going to be driven out. If I wanted a conflict, maybe I could have called all the Southall boys. I got half of them pucky anyway. Right. I could have called the Southall boys, Slough boys. I had people from Birmingham willing to come down saying, we'll come. No problem. We'll come and protect you. We'll fight these far right people. I said, we don't want a conflict. I said, we don't want a conflict. This is what they want. They want trouble and they want to kick off. Then they want to point fingers at us. Like, use lot of the... Who would have got arrested if we'd kicked off? Right. Whose career would have gone down the line? Bro, I'm the only one who earns in my family. I've got a dad who's 84. I've got a mum who's nearly 80. Who's going to look after them if I go inside for 8-9 years? I've got 2 young kids. Who's going to feed them? Yeah. So this is what they want. So they were targeting people. That's real life, bro. That's real life. And like we had all of that. And
in aspect of it, they don't actually have anything to lose in comparison to you.
Bro, when a mob is surrounding you, anyone can poke the knife in with a hoodie on or whatever, with a balaclava on. No one catches them. Who are they going to know? Who's done that? Done. That's all that happens. The easiest way to kill someone is in a mob. Because who could it be? When you look around, it could be anyone, right? You don't want to catch someone. One-on-ones kill someone, you know exactly who done it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. In a mob, you got halalala. They stab you, kill you, whatever. So yeah, that was a thing. And I said it, if you search it now on Twitter, so I've never been driven out like this before, and I'm not going to do it now. And I said, this isn't something new. I grew up you chose the wrong person. You chose a guy who grew up between Dagenham and Tilbury, yeah, born in Romford. Yeah, I saw this when I was a kid, when I was like 10, 11, 12. From then, all I've been seeing is that. You definitely picked the wrong guy. So then obviously that was avoided and that was all in the papers the next day. But that's a targeted. I get emails sent to me saying, I hope you get shot in the head. I've had I've had an email sent to me saying, I hope you get shot in the head. Yeah, I'll show you that and I'll send you it. I'll send you it on WhatsApp and you can actually show that on screen when it comes in. Yeah, I've had people saying, go back to your own country. I've had people call me Paki so many times. Mate, that's just normal. Yeah, people saying, oh, you're not British. Why do you want to help your own stock? What's that mean? My own stock, yeah? These guys need stringing up. I've had people like properly say that to me. Oh, you better watch out. That's nothing new.
Has anything actually physically happened to you? Have you had any altercations?
When I was a kid, I had loads.
I'm talking about in your professional career.
Yeah, in my professional career, I've had people on TV, like trying to. One woman was debating me on TV, on national TV, on Vanessa Phelps' show.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And she said, "Oh, you got blood on your hands." I said, "For what?" And she goes, "Oh, you're helping people who come over on boats." And I said, "How's that got blood on my hands? And what's that?" And I said, "First of all, I don't help them. It's not me who's ferrying them over here." I said, "You lot, it's your government that's allowing it. Stop them all in France, yeah? Or make a processing centre in France where they can apply for asylum, yeah?" So, and then I switched it on her, yeah? And this is where she got ocky. I said, actually, it's Britain that profits from making them homeless. I said, Britain is selling arms to Israel. At this moment, as we speak, Britain has signed an arms deal with Israel. Israel is making millions of people homeless. Yeah, killing. You've seen the photos of the kids, brothers hugging each other, kid walking on his own, the mum and all the children killed, sexually abused, raped. Yeah, we've seen that, right? In Lebanon and Gaza, flattened whole countries, flattened them. Yeah, and then you're saying you profit from that. You're putting the proceeds of that into your mouth for your own kids. Then you're saying no, they can't come here. ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਘਰ ਡਿਸਟਰੋਏ ਕਰਤਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਪਿੰਡ ਸਾਰਾ ਡਿਸਟਰੋਏ ਕਰਤਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਾਪੇ ਵੀ ਮਾਰਤੇ, ਪਰ ਤੂੰ ਨਾ ਹੀ ਸਾਡੇ. Not our problem. Yeah, whose problem is it? Yeah, you create the mess, and then you don't want people to come here.
So your job, who's the lady that was you were debating with?
Oh, just this woman. They had her on. She was called Paula London.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So like she came on, and then after that, I got an apology from Talk TV, who said, "We apologise, we didn't know." I said, "You just set me up there," and they go, "No, we didn't know she was going to say this. We're not going to have her on the TV again," and they didn't, to be fair. And they said, I said, I thought we were going to have an articulated debate, not someone screaming like a banshee, you know, like a Jareel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, so yeah, I've had all of that in, and I've had people try and set me up. I've had that, but the thing is, we don't do anything wrong. Everything's clean cut. So what are we doing?
You're running by the system, right? You're just doing what you need to do.
That's my job.
By the law. Yeah.
I'm doing my job. Yeah. So in that case, why do you want to kill the lawyers that defend the rapists? We have something called a cab rank rule. If you're a lawyer, yeah, it's like taxi. If you've got a line of taxis, yeah, a taxi has to take the person. You have to take the first taxi, and you have to take that person. Right? It's cab rank, yeah. Now taxis take rapists, they take murderers. Sometimes they drop them off to their location. Do you kill the taxi person? He's just doing a job, right? They're just doing a job. So it's a cab rank rule, yeah. And plus, I don't knowingly help anyone who's in the wrong. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Right. And how many immigration lawyers help Jimmy Savile or help these white grooming gangs? None of them, right? They're not a product of immigration lawyers. So why I don't turn around and say all white people have got blood on their hands. Yeah, white people killed 3 million, starved 3 million people to death in India. Yeah, I don't say all white people are responsible for that. Responsible for the acts of British Empire. Yeah, they wiped out Aborigines and Tasmanians in Australia.
Yep.
Took the lands from the Red Indians, yeah, and America and Canada, made it theirs, right? I don't go around saying that all white people are wrong for that, all the British are wrong for that. It's the crimes of a few. You don't tarnish everyone for that.
That's what's in. That's what.
Yeah, and guess what? When you mention the British Empire, but that was times back then. So that's all right then. That's okay for genocide. You can just blame that. That's all right. So for them, it's a different rule. For us, it's a different rule. And this is what I mean. It's a bit of a two-tier nationality system. Me being British now, I feel as if I'm not treated the same as perhaps a white person who's British. That's terrible. That's what people are telling me.
And we're living in 2026 now.
That's what they're telling us. That you're not native English. I don't want to be native English. I'm not saying I'm native English, but I am British. Yeah, I'm a British Asian. Yeah.
What do you say to those who say you're British? You're not British by paper.
No, I'm not.
You know when
I'm British by paper. I've got a passport.
Yeah,
but
I'm British. Just because you have the passport doesn't make you British. You know when they say
there's
that.
a law for it to make me British. The law of your own land, made by your MPs, made by your government, signed by your king and queen, ratified, says that I am. So you want to argue anything, go and argue with the king. Charlie na ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ ਉੱਥੇ ਲੜ ਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਨਾਲੇ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬੌਂਡ ਤੇ ਛਿੱਤਰ ਪਊਗੇ.
It's true.
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੂ ਨਾ. Don't argue with me about it. Don't tell me what a law can, once a law's conferred something, it's fine.
As much as we've gone really deep into the I don't think we're going to get that serious today, but you know we're gonna get right into
No, let's do it. Let's do it, man. Let's carry on.
I love it. To
I'm
be
all
fair,
right.
like, all
I'm
this
all right
kind
with
of
this.
talk. But
You could even split this into two shows, or 3
potentially-
shows. Yeah, you could.
potentially.
Yeah.
But for me, I wanted to kind of touch on. We're going to come back to all of this kind
Yeah.
of stuff and what's happening in the UK, and I think this is also something we will bring on because we're planning to do like a panel.
Oh, wicked.
And I want you on this
No,
because
100%.
because
Love to.
we want because I enjoy a bit of debate, and I like to have different perspectives and different, you know, sort of intelligent, articulate debate going on where we can actually discuss topics which are a problem of today, especially in our South Asian community. But we're going to come back to that in a second, Harjap. So,
You are a product, my friend, of community, and I'll tell you why. Because of your dad. Yeah, I know your dad for a long time.
yeah,
Yeah, I did radio shows with your dad and Deepa and
Yeah.
Preetam Chaggarji. You know, like very respected people. Preetam Chaggarji like did BBC. Was on BBC for his longest radio. He did for 40 odd years, right? And these are respected people. Yeah, your dad set up a radio station in the heart of Slough for the community. Right, it's a community radio station. That's what it is. Right,
yeah.
right. So your dad's got his finger on the pulse. Right? He knows what it is. You're a product of that. Everything you've been around, well, you must have been to the radio station every weekend or possibly every other day.
Every day, mate.
Right, every day, right? You hear what Appane Bande call up
Yeah.
about. You speak to them guys, yeah? Do you think that Appane Bande, like, are what you painted out to be? Were all the guys calling you, were they groomers? Were they rapists? No, they're just normal people. Yeah, half the time people are asking, oh, shop kiੱਥੇ ਆ?
Yeah.
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਐਡ ਲਾਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਂ
Yeah.
ਆਟਾ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਲੈਣਾ
Yeah,
ਉੱਥੇ
basically.
ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਠਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਬੋਰਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਉਹ ਰੂਫ ਵਾਲੇ ਦਾ ਟੈਲਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਉਹ ਵਿੰਡੋ ਡਬਲ ਗਲੇਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਵਾਲਾ ਦਾ ਦੱਸੋ
You're right.
which is people trying to make a living.
Just living life.
Right. Then to get now banded as enemies of this nation, enemies of the state, and get told you're not British. Yeah. Well, you know what? And the worst thing is, yeah, they say, oh, you're not British. You come over here. Yeah. You speak your own language. You don't integrate. You mentioned integration. Yeah. You have your own cultures. You have your own religious places. You pray to your own gods. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Do you know what the British Empire did? They went to other countries. Yeah. Imposed their own religion, Christianity on others,
Yeah.
yeah. Made a lot more churches, yeah. Told people you have to speak English. This is your laws now. We control your country. This is how you're going to do. If you don't do it, we'll put you in jail.
Mm.
Mate, so everything they're accusing us of is projection.
They
Sounds
don't
British to
understand.
me.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
You can't get more British than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Job, I just wanted to quickly ask you a question. I saw something recently. Did you turn down an MBE?
Yeah,
You did.
about 4 years ago, yeah.
Why?
I'll tell you what, and now I'm glad you said that because I'm going to show you what else I turned down.
Okay, go on.
I turned down an MBE because of what it stands for. Yeah. What does an OBE and MBE stand for? Do you guys know?
Is it member of the British Empire?
MBE is a member of British Empire. A BEM is a British Empire medal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. An OBE is an officer of the Order of the British Empire. Yeah. What the British Empire is one of the biggest genocidal regimes in the world in history.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever they went, they raped, they pillaged, they killed. Yeah. Anyone who disagreed with them. I'm from Punjab. I'm from an area in Punjab. My roots, my heritage is called Namashar, which is now called Shaheed Bhagat Singh Nagar. It's where Bhagat Singh was born. He's one of my heroes. Bhagat Singh was a freedom fighter for India, one of the greatest freedom fighters ever. He died young. He didn't die. They killed him because he wanted freedom. All he wanted was the British to leave his country. Yeah, they killed him. Now, the British Empire killed him. Yeah, they killed my other hero, Udham Singh, who came and got revenge for the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. You're saying to me that if I've done good in this country, you want to give me a pat on the back, G Sadke. I'm not saying I don't accept awards. I love them. Who doesn't want awards for their work? Your dad's got them. Your radio station's got them. Yeah. If someone said, right, we want to give you an award for your podcast, you'd be all right.
Mm-hmm.
But in the name of a genocidal regime, so if I said I want to give you the Hitler Award, would you take it?
No, of course not. You did
Right.
that.
If I said to you,
Yeah.
Hannah, I want you to accept the Aurangzeb Award, knowing that they killed Sahibzade,
Absolutely
Gurus,
not.
would you accept it?
Absolutely not.
Right. So none of us would accept it. Yeah. would you accept the Netanyahu award?
Of course not.
Right. That's what they're saying in the MBE.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I want to become a member of a genocidal regime? Koi ਚੱਜ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ. ਤੁਸੀਂ king ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਲੈ ਲਓ. Give me a King's Award. Give me a Britain Pride of Britain Award, British Award. That's fine. In the name of this country, Britain, that's fine. But in the name of the British Empire, no way.
But this is the problem. Apne bande will look at that and think, chalo, we go meet the king and the queen. You know, like there's so many people who've
Japalusi,
gone.
bro. Subservient mentality.
They're happy to do it because we're getting it from the king.
If you meet the king, is he going to put half a Buckingham Palace on your name? No. So what? So if meeting the king's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. Meeting people, yeah. But getting an award in the name of a British Empire, having them letters behind your name, that doesn't. And if you've got the word Singh in them, yeah, Khan in your name, yeah, Kumar in your name, Ram in your name, why should you have the letters of a British Empire behind it? Who killed your people? And not only killed your people, killed Kale in Africa, killed them in Australia, killed them in New Zealand, they killed the Maoris. Yeah, they went there and killed them. They tested mustard gas on Kenyans, on black people in Kenya, just for their war. And what did, in turn, we fought for them in their war. It wasn't even our bloody war. It wasn't our war, was it? Right, so we died for them. Then you get still told, nah, mate, you're not one of us. Yeah, I don't want a pat in the back from the British Empire. They should change the name. It's not the award that I am against. It's the institution that it represents, the British Empire. If the British Empire is dead and over, why they still got this institution of British Empire? Why are they giving it awards in that name? And I want to show you another thing, right, which I turned down. And you can put this on screen, but you'll have to blot out a bit of stuff.
Yeah.
Right, but I want you to read it. So last year and the year before, yeah, I applied to become a judge in this country. Yeah, it's got a exam procedure. Yeah, and I passed all of the exams to get through. I got to the final stage. Yeah,
was this like a magistrate or
no, a proper immigration judge of the first tribunal.
Okay,
right. I want you to read that out. It's a proper email.
Are you okay for me to read it on the podcast?
If you want to.
Yeah. Okay. So for those who are watching, obviously, we'll just see this is what Harjap's given.
There's some sensitive information.
Obviously, but I'm just going to put like further to your application. The Judicial Appointments Commission has a statutory duty only to recommend candidates are of good character.
Yeah.
The good character and guidance provides guidance to candidates on the matters that the JAC takes into account as part of its assessment of good character, and that matters that all candidates are required to declare.
Yeah.
And then all candidates are made aware of guidance and need to self-declare against it as part of the application process.
Yeah.
Okay. Your application conducted under a previous iteration of the JAC Good Character Guidance is available in the link. Okay. So it says in paragraph 58, the Good Character Guidance states as follows. Other factors relevant to the JAC's consideration of good character may include misuse of social media or online networking sites where you express views that may be projective under the Equality Act. They may also include a breach of conditions of the use of social media channels and networking sites where you were sanctioned.
Yeah.
So basically,
go to the next bit. Yes.
Yes. So all the work that you were doing on TV at the time and all your views
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is what made you a TV personality. Right. Okay.
And my outspoken stuff. Yeah. Now read that. That's the next page of it.
So it goes in paragraph 64 of the Good Character Guidance states as follows. In addition to the categories covered above, you should consider if there is any factor or event either currently or that has occurred in the past or online, such as social media channels, which might either cast doubt in the view of public on your suitability for judicial office or cause embarrassment to that office. If you consider that there might be such a factor or event, you must declare it, even if it has been declared in a previous application to the JAC.
Yeah.
So now there's a tweet that Harjap has retweeted.
Not my own tweet. It's a retweet of a tweet.
So it's a tweet of. So it's a retweet of a retweet. Yeah.
So you can share that on.
We'll put this up. So it was the original tweet from Charlie Bentley Astor. I was walking through London last night when someone called out the dark at me. Are you a Jew? To which a person has responded called Joe Brolly. This is terrible, Charlie. Did they turn off the power and water, bomb your local hospital and school, then bulldoze your house and shoot your children? To which Harjap
has retweeted
has
it.
reposted. Yeah.
They then flagged that out. And what have they said? They said, give us an explanation for that. Right?
Oh, yeah. They go, I invite you to provide any information or context you would like the Commission to consider in respect of this repost and the relevance of this repost to the JAC's assessment of character.
Right. So, what they said, because I've retweeted this, yeah, you're breaking our guidance. And what they said, literally, offered to me, come off all your social media, come off everything you've tweeted in the past, every protest. Remember, I'm a guy who led the farmers' protests against Indian government in the UK. I did Kisans in Need. I sat there 7 hours on a live show on the Sikh channel, raising the human rights issues of Kisans. I've always spoke out for people, for my community. What they're saying is, you can't speak out. And that retweet is me just saying, don't kill kids and bulldoze people, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like, but they've pulled it out and they've said, literally said, you've got to come off all of that, yeah? If you want to continue being a judge, yeah, come off all your social media, delete all your accounts, and anything you want to say in social media or the media, you have to get permission from the Ministry of Justice as a judge, right? My reply to that was, thanks very much, I withdraw from that. I withdraw from this.
How did that make you feel? Because that's probably a dream sort of role you wanted to move into.
Bro, I would have loved to have been a judge. But what they're saying to me is, if you become a judge, we buy your voice. And you can't stand up. So I thought, tomorrow, if my Sikh community's kids start getting killed, or there's a genocide against Sikhs in India, I can't talk because I'm a judge.
And then what's going to end up happening? People who've seen you as a personality who speak out for your community are going to blame you. Why?
They're going to say, job kill.
Yeah.
Right. But I wouldn't be job anyway. So I wouldn't sell my soul. That's why a lot of people now will not understand why judges don't say anything. Up on their judges, you never see them in the limelight. You never see them. They're not allowed to.
They can't do anything.
Yeah, and all that for a wage.
Status, wage.
Bro, status and a wage. To wear a cape and call myself honourable judge. In other can, I'm honourable. There's more honour in not allowing your voice being silenced than to sell your voice for a wage.
And there's more honour in speaking the truth.
That's right. And there's more honour in that. You've seen that. You're evidence in that, right?
Yeah.
That's it. I haven't shown that to anyone. That's an exclusive for this podcast.
Thank you.
The other one I told you about the OBE and MBE, I've explained myself there.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to be a slave. I'm not going to sell my voice. Yeah, I've just about got this voice, and I use my voice to defend my people, my community, and anyone who's in trouble. Not just my community, but anyone who's been oppressed. I will shout out for them. It doesn't matter whether it's white girls. It doesn't matter whether it's Sikh girls. It doesn't matter if it's Muslim girls, Muslim men and women, or Sikh men and women, Hindu men and women. When a Hindu boy, Ronan Kanda, remember, got killed.
By two Singhs.
By two Singhs. And the Gurdwara started providing fake references and all of that for the boys. Remember? And they started bullying the mother.
Yeah.
She was on her own. I remember when I got that call. I was at a wedding. Of someone from the Sikh channel. He was getting married, a Gurpreet. And then I got a phone call saying, Harjap, there's this woman there and no one's helping her. She's being bullied and her son's been killed. You need to help her. And I'm like, do I want to get involved in this? And then I listened to a story and it was so moving. And I said, yeah, okay, I will. Then we started a movement, right? Mal Ordi Banfari. This poor kid walking home, from school, from a mate's house, picked up a PlayStation controller, wearing headphones. From behind, two guys with samurai swords kill him on the street, 4 doors away from his house. His mum came out, saw him dying there. They were in the same school as him. They thought he was someone else. They went home, got changed, ordered a takeaway. Because their families were on the Gurdwara committee and trustees and all that.
Thought they were untouchable.
Then the trial came. Then their families tried to bully the mum because they thought, "Ida kaun hai? Ida koi hai nahi."
And what was the outcome from that side? What was the outcome?
No, they got jail. They got jail. But then we raised such a big issue about it that why is the Gurdwara providing references to these people? Why are they bullying the mum? Yeah. Then, for me, it was my good kismet that people like Sikhs Women Aid got involved. All the banner of Wolverhampton and the Sangat And the women heard that woman's cry. Half of them didn't even know what was going on. They raised the issue, helped that woman. I got death threats for that.
From your own people?
From my own people. From the youngsters that were groomed by these committee members. They've got cults. So they were saying, oh, we're going to get you, Harjap. We're going to get you. Come on then. I said, Lalo, you know where I am. I'm in the office all day. Ajo. I said, is that what you guys do? Kill innocent people? Is that what your Sikhi stands for? It's not what I do. Yeah? It's not what I've been taught.
Yeah.
I've been taught to protect the oppressed. Stand up for those without a voice. You all saw that, right? And you saw that, and nobody knew what was going on until I brought that woman onto my TV show.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
And I raised it, and then I raised it on TikTok, and I brought it on everywhere. Now there's been a law that's changed in relation to that called Ronan's Law. And that woman went to Parliament. She's got all her contacts with her and all of that. Mm-hmm. And now a lot of people fight her corner.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, a lot of people fought her corner.
Very moving.
But at that time, no one wanted to know. So she reached out to me, and all I saw was a mum and a sister who were grieving for their child.
And you gave them the platform.
Bro, I gave them the platform. I properly मैं लड़या उत्थे जाके. Yeah. So मैं उत्थे जाके.
It's just sad to see people from your own community.
Yeah, I had people make videos in response to my videos. The committee, guess what they said? ਲੈ ਜੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਮਰਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਵੀ ਜੇਲ੍ਹ ਗਏ ਆ. Your fucking children killed the son. Of course they deserve to be in jail. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਰਤੀ ਉਤਾਰੀਏ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਹੀਰੇ ਦੇ ਬੈਜ ਦਈਏ.
When you ask these people these questions, what
mate, they shut them. They try and put it on you as if they're gangsters, like a mafia. That's another point that I want to talk to. Our religious institutions are controlled in a mafia-style fashion. As soon as you start calling them out, they start blaming you. Oh, you're ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਦੁਸ਼ਮਣ ਆ. No, you're not. So you lot can just kill people and get away with it. You lot can siphon off funds and get away with it. You lot can use our temples and our mosques as charities and launder money for it. No, that's not what it's there for.
It's interesting you say that. I don't think a lot of the general public know. I mean, everyone blames the Gurdwara. Oh, they're spending money, they're buying things for themselves. They don't actually realise how much money laundering goes on.
Oh, it's a lot.
There's a lot of underhand. And it's like the mob. It is. Like,
there is a lot of
especially when elections are happening. You know what it's like, Harjap. You've probably been involved in something.
I have, and that's another where I got a death threat, properly, like at South or Gurdwara elections when I was standing against a committee, and that's on video. People threatening me, and then I had to call some people down.
It's really sad, man. Like, you know, these are religious.
Listen, I don't engage in fighting someone or confrontation, but if someone puts it on you, it's not, mate. I grew up in Essex. Yeah. I know what to do. I know how to defend myself, and I know how to defend my people. Also, the guys that I knocked around with, the upper, they're not people you want to mess with. Yeah. So, like, you know, at the South Gurdwara elections, I had like these guys who were from India as well, freshies. Yeah. They're coming up to me and saying, and I said, why? Because I exposed all their lies. Yeah. And all their propaganda. So at that stage, people were saying, everyone, look, you need to go. I made one phone call. In 40 minutes, my boys were there, people that I grew up with. Then no one said anything. And everyone was allowed to vote, and everyone won the election fair and square. But it made an alhoy. It's on video. People can see it. It's on my Instagram, where people were trying to put it on us. So, and that's at an election. The Gore must be thinking, what is going on here? Is this a world council election? Yeah. No, it's a local charity election.
That's how they treat it, though, isn't it?
Bro, they treat it like a millah. There's like 800 people there. It's not a millah. When at a local election, do you see a crowd outside the voting box? Bande jande vote pa ke aa jande a. Our Gurdwara masjid elections, wo kathe kar lo sare jinne hunde a. Kanjran dance ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੈ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ ਅਲੀ ਦਾ ਕਨਸਰਟ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਣ ਆਏ ਆ ਹੈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਮਾਨ ਲੱਗਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੋਟ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਜਾਓ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੋਟ ਪਾਉਣ ਦਿਓ. The people get intimidated. These tactics are not good for our community.
This is from back home, and this is comes back to the original point we spoke about. It's that whole buria that, as we say, that they have back home, that they bring those sort of that mentality and those bits and pieces to the UK.
If Sky News had turned up at that election and showed everyone, this is what election, bro, you'd have British people on the street saying, "Get these lot out." In the heart South.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Not wrong. Bro,
you would have. Yeah, imagine the BBC showing that. This is a local charity election. There's 800 people. They're fighting each other. There's police presence there. Mate, there ain't even police presence at the local elections. But in our Gurdwara elections, You what? ਚਾਰ ਵੈਨਾਂ ਖੜੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਕੁੱਤੇ ਵਾਲੀ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਆਈ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਕੁੱਤੇ ਵਾਲੀ.
But then I'll put it this way: local elections, our people won't even go out to vote in those local elections. It's not important.
Oh, they will if it's your cousin standing. Yeah. They vote for faces.
That's the new thing.
Our people vote for faces.
That's the new thing.
Yeah, they don't vote for policies.
I've seen that in my
They vote for faces. So your cousin could be standing for the send migrants back home. Yeah, party. Yeah,
it's our boy.
And your migrant cousin will say, "No, man, no, John, mere chache da munda, no, I vote mama." It's like chickens voting for KFC. Yeah, that's exactly what we are.
That's a good one. I'm going to use that one.
No, it is really good.
That's exactly what we are. We're chickens voting for KFC. That's what we do. I saw reform people, up on them, they're standing for reform in West London. Guess who's handing their leaflets out? People who'd overstayed their student visas. I know, I recognised them all. Then I said to them, "Tanu pata hai party ne ki karna thodna?" ਨਹੀਂ ਭਾਜੀ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਆ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਲਿਫਟ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਭੇਜਣਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅੱਛਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਭਾਜੀ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ 20 ਪਾਉਂਡ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ 2 ਘੰਟੇ ਚ ਵੰਡ ਦੇਣੇ ਇਹ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਚਲੋ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਿੰਡ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ ਜੇ ਫਰਾਜ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ ਗਏ then I'll see you back home bro because they'll probably send me back and they'll probably send you back.
It's true.
But yeah, so told you, chickens KFC, that's what it is.
But, you know, over the years, you must have had some right moments on telly, like when you were on TV. Like we were talking about this
still on TV.
To our viewers.
Still on TV,
I know, obviously, when you're on telly, like we're doing your show, but I'm just saying, like, we've spoken, like, off camera to our viewers that we were talking about. We're having a bit of a joke about it. Like, Harjap's gone through some right, because I watch your TikTok, I watch something, I actually piss myself laughing at some of the questions he gets asked. I'm just like, what mind people come to you and what level of... It's like you're a doctor.
I think they get a bit too friendly, don't they? And they think
too personal.
And they think, you know, sara kuch das do. You know, like our elders, they have a mentality, and I've heard it a few times. Doctor to vakeel to kuch lukona nahi chahiye.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck no, man. I don't want to know about all your I'm not a love doctor. So I've had people saying, "Paji, meri body na taki, main ki kara." And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Main jaake hun labba, like that bounty hunter program. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to go and get on my motorbike and find your body?
Basically, that's
what aap hi apniyan masi saamb huniya. To hum teriyan lab ke leke aama. I'm not that man, bro, to report it to the police. Yeah. Or like, Paji, I think one phoned up and he goes, Paji, I got some other man's wife pregnant. Main pakka ho ju. And I'm like, what do you want me to say? Well done, son. Tu baki bhi 6-7 aan gwaandana de ek bachcha kar de. Shayad tenu world passport hi mil jave. Hai na? Shayad Trump honi tenu passport de den. What the fudge are you like on about? And then some woman phoned up, I'm sure you like her. Oh, I put someone else's name on the birth certificate for my child. And I said, not the dad's. Nah. I said, who'd you put? Some Gora's name. Because I thought my kid would become British. And then they asked her for a DNA. And then she couldn't, obviously, innit?
Yeah, that's standard.
Like, what the fudge? And she goes, now, can I change it back? And I said, what are you going to say?
But it's
the registrar, are you going to say, batti gayi usi hai? Lagda ta karna hai, ladka hi si. Ohi roop si. Mainu ke raat thodi jida si Harjap ke Gora si apna si.
But it's like it's so weird. I'd be honest, like, you know, how people just get so comfy with you, just like you must go to weddings and probably people are start asking you questions.
No, somebody had a case file that I remember this video. He brought a
case file to a wedding.
Yeah,
because they found out he's going to be a guest.
So that was like it was a wedding of a relative of Raman Ojla, you know, who sang the Truth for Bullying. Yeah. So it was there in Coventry, Leamington, Anna. So I was sitting there on the table and like I'm on here and all the Leamington people are sitting next to me, yeah. Just hear tap on the shoulder and just Sasika bhai, Sasika. Because bhai mainu pata si tusi hona. And I thought, oh chalo, very nice hai na. And he goes, muddy file dekhyo tha. He pulled out a 300-page file. And all of them lot sitting there looking at me thinking, man, does this happen to you like lot? And I said, you don't even know the half of it. Don't even know the half of it. Once, like I remember I was in the toilets, you know, with my sodda pata, having a peshab like as you do, yeah. Felt of something on my shoulder. And I thought, what? And he goes, bhai, Harjap. And I said, haan. And he goes, mari salah leni si. And I said, bhai, meri ass wale salah hai ya, tu piche ho ya. Ine ass wale nahi ta shitte pe jane ya. Teri jutti bhi kharab ho, meri bhi. Dono da nuksan hoya.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, in the toilets. People have seen that. And like that happened last time as well. My mate Ranjit Bandel, who does a podcast as well, we was at Dissy Live, one of the Dissy Lives, and he actually saw it and he goes, bloody hell, I'd heard this story now, and he saw someone asking me for advice in the
rave,
in the toilet, mate, in the toilets.
Oh God!
And he goes, I thought, you know, I said, look, and he goes, yeah, buddy, I'm a bit like shocked. It's true, and I said, yeah, it's true, bro. It's true. And like, so yeah, I get, but it's part of the job. It doesn't matter to me, man. If you put yourself out there, you expect this. So people always say, oh,
Have you ever actually had a moment on telly, like live TV, where you've just been left speechless and you just don't even know how to answer it?
Loads of times, man. Loads of times. When luckily there's 2 breaks in my show, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what do you think happens in the break? Same thing that happens in your breaks.
Swearing.
When you're on the radio, yeah. I'm like, man, what the heck, man? What did they ask? The problem is, I think I was a lot savage in my younger days, yeah. Very savage. Everything was black and white. There was no grey area. But as you get older, you realise life's not always black and white. There's grey areas, right? But I used to be savage. So I used to, and it's a live show, right? So you don't have time to think.
Yeah, you say
Right,
what it
you
is.
just blurt out, and I just used to blurt out what everyone was thinking at home, and I think that's how people at home really got to like associate with it. They go, "Yeah, you're right, Harjap. You just blurt out what we were thinking at home." And I said, "That's the difference. I just blurt it out because I'm live, and you lot just listen to it and think, yeah, he's right." And that's always been my style, man. I've always been told to just tell the truth, and I do that even now on mainstream and stuff like that. I've had to sort of calm down for mainstream media. And obviously, you can't go swear mode and all of that sort of stuff. You still think it at times.
Yeah, of course you think it, but I'm just saying there's times I've seen you like on the Punjabi side of things when you're talking to people who are asking you questions and you just go absolutely apeshit at them.
Yeah, bro, what are you asking me on air? And they don't care. They're like, "Bhai, main kisi de nyana karke main nyane da kharcha nahi dena, but I'm just going to use it as a visa baby." Is that main kar sakda? Like, what type of ethics have you come up with that? And that's your kid. Yeah, people are like, one, I remember he phoned me, he goes, "Oh, I've got my Italian girlfriend here." And I said, "That's really good." And I said, "Fir vyah kar la." And he goes, "Jiri India, oda ki kara." He's already married. Remember that
I
one?
remember that
Yeah,
one.
man. And then he didn't even understand my sarcasm. I was very sarcastic.
They don't get it. They
I
don't
was
get
saying,
it.
"Bahut badhiya mera veer." And he goes, "Nahi, Italian changi bahut hai." And I said, "Yeah, changi to bahut hai because you're going to give you a visa, innit?" And I said, "Oh, India li madi ho gayi." And like, obviously now, mate, what are you asking me?
Yeah.
Hannah, on TV. You should see the stuff that they ask me in the office, bro. The TV is their tame version.
No way.
Yeah, they're still conscious about TV. In the office, I get asked all sorts, man. And then you just sit there and think, what am I going to do? Sometimes
Give
I'm
us a
a
little bit of
handyman.
insight.
Yeah,
What
till
kind
this
of-
People
day-
pretending to be gay. I've had people saying, "I want to call my niece over" by pretending to be lesbian. Yeah. I've had a guy said, "मैं को बुड्ढे नूं कह देना gay या मेरी support कर application." As people ask me, "Paji, को gay test तो नहीं हुंदा home office?" And I said, "साले मैं जाके देखे होना, what the heck? मैं दिता कदे? I don't know." Yeah. And then I had one guy and I said, "All right, he's playing now a little bit. Let me play with him." And I said, "मैनू तो पता नहीं पर मैं सुनया उन्होंने एक है ना like बंदा रखा है and उन्होंने 2 रातां तैनू रजाई च घुलना पैंदा है, and like and he goes, "Acha," and then he went silent.
Did he
and I went
start
silent.
shaking?
I thought he would get it that I'm joking, yeah. No, he goes, "Bhai," he goes, "किसान कुछ तो मैं कर लूँगा, दूसरा काम सारा होगा." So I thought, man, mate, this is lost. My humour and sarcasm is lost on
Bro,
these
you must
people.
be lost for words when you see some of
What
this
do you
that
want me to
happens.
say, man? What do you want me to say when they say this stuff? It's terrible. If I see 20 people a day, I have to turn away 18 of them because of the stuff that they're asking me.
Your social battery must die off for about 10 minutes.
Bro, you know what? First, I used to take this home with me. I used to take all these thoughts home with me, and I'd end up arguing with my parents and my family, yeah? Then someone told me, "Harjap, you need to leave all this shit at work. You can't bring this shit home with you, and don't take it too seriously, yeah? So you need a sense of humour to do my job." Luckily, I have that, so it's all right. Yeah, right. So it all... But otherwise, yeah, the stuff that you hear about, you really think like... I feel sorry for them. At that time, I didn't used to feel sorry for them. I now feel like, look at the desperation that it is to think that, yeah? Like to be...
That was a big thing on the news, actually, talking about...
a few weeks ago.
Yes,
right?
it was.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
on the. It was. I reported it on my radio show, and it was about
Fake gay asylum.
fake gay asylum. And
Well,
that was
we
a big
work a
thing.
lot with the BBC.
Yeah.
So a lot of people know that I work with the BBC and Sky News.
Yeah.
And we expose these sorts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I help actually to expose these things because I don't think it's right.
I didn't think it was a thing, and it was only until it came
Ah,
up
bro,
in the
it's
national
loads.
press. Yeah.
Guess where the number one come from? Pakistan.
No way.
Pakistan, mate.
Yeah,
Number
because
one.
they seek asylum because they're
Yeah,
in
so the
danger
Home
of
Office
their
think, the
safety.
Home Office think half of Pakistan is gay.
Yeah, well, half
Because
of them are dressing up in saris, going to people's weddings and dancing and asking for money.
Yeah.
What else is it?
Yeah, but then the other half are here claiming asylum by dressing up in saris.
Yeah, exactly.
And doing the same. So, like, they're all fake claims. A lot of them are fake claims. So, just like a few years ago, you had Muslims claiming to be Christians, and they started going to church just to build this fake narrative. Yeah, a lot of back in the day, you'd have a lot of Muslim pretending to be Mazay, Ahmadis.
Yes.
Yeah, right, just to get their stay in this country. Yeah. So they'll do anything. It goes to the extent of anything. And they think the Home Office won't find out. You had a lot of people who lived on that border of Pakistan and Afghanistan in Peshawar because they knew how to speak Pashto.
Yeah.
They used to rip their passport off back in the day and claim to be Afghanis. And
It was
therefore
easier
won't
to
be
get in the
sent back.
country.
And they weren't fingerprinted then, back in them days. So fingerprinting only started in 2008.
Bloody hell.
So before that, you got a lot of Pakistanis and a lot of Sikhs from Delhi claiming to be Afghanis, but they weren't. But because they knew the language, then the Home Office introduced special interpreters who could pick up the dialect and knew the country from Afghanistan. Look at the Bajari Home Office ki bif tanch paya tusi.
Yeah. Making them work extra overtime,
man.
innit?
Yeah, they're gonna have to have gay tests now. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰ
Well,
ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਗੋਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਾਗਲ ਕਰਤਾ ਗੋਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ
What did he say? He'll do the chummi, but you won't do anything else.
Yeah. I said, then I replied to him, ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਬੋਤਲ ਚੱਕੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਚਾੜ ਲਈ ਬਾਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਹੀ ਜਾਣੇ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਥੋੜੇ ਕੋਲਾ ਵੀ ਲਵ ਯੂ ਹੋਣਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ.
What was his response?
No, he took it seriously and he was like, no, by you don't. I said, look, ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰਾ ਮਜ਼ਾਕ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਨਾ ਕਰ. Don't do it.
He was fully
Don't do
ready.
it. Don't make it fully.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything for a visa.
No.
Remember that, guys.
Well, the visa is spelled. How's visa spelled? What's the spelling of visa?
VISA.
Do you know what it stands for?
Actually, don't.
Right. Bech dinda insan sab kuch apna.
Well, I've never heard that one.
Yeah, that's what I've worked it out. It stands for. That's what I think.
In
visa
all your
stands
years
for.
of experience.
That's what it stands for.
Wow.
Man will sell his dignity, his pride, his religion, sell his God when it comes to a visa. Yeah.
Ain't that the truth, guys?
Yeah. So otherwise, yeah. Muslims hate Sikhs, Sikhs hate Hindus, blah, 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 right? The whole circle comes. When it comes to visa fraud, they're all in it together.
Yeah, we're all friends.
They're all friends,
we're
man.
all family.
Visa frauds, money laundering,
Yeah.
crime. Yeah. Everyone's all family.
Yeah, that's
Everyone's
it.
all family. And
Yeah.
oh, bye, sir. Bye. Now I'm like, hon thwada kithe gaya nafrat and all of that. That's the reality.
Hypocrisy. It's the community. It's
Mate, I'm
pure
terrible.
hypocrisy.
Yeah, there are good things about our community. Like we are the hardworking people.
100%.
Yeah,
We have
I've
great
got
values, we have a
mental
great culture.
Yeah, we're ambitious, aspiring. We want our kids to get educated. We're very good in education. Our kids are doing well. Yeah, they're at the top unis. We drive the top cars. We live in good houses. Good stuff. But there's so many bad things about our community, and them things get buried under the carpet.
Yeah.
And they get swept under the carpet. Buried under the sand. We don't want to talk about them. And until we don't talk about them, we're never going to be able to solve it. We're always going to be bad in the eyes of the British because we're giving them something to point out about. And you can't sit here in their country and say, well, your lot do that as well. That's not good enough. Because their answer is, well, actually, they're our people. You're not. That's what they say. And that's what hurts. Because after you do all of that, you're told, actually, you're not here. And when you go back home, you're told, well, you're Valeti. You're not one of us.
You're not one of us. Yeah.
Well, I always call us the lost generation. But
I'm glad to be British and British.
Yeah,
Asian.
I love it. I wouldn't be anything else. I'd hate to be American. Yeah, the only other nationality I'd consider is Canadian. But I'd hate to be, I hate to be anything else.
Yeah.
So I love being British.
And,
But
but I love the culture.
treat me the same as someone who's British.
Yeah, but then I also like the culture that I'd say my parents have grown up and helped to create with their friends, then families and stuff like that. Like, look at for example, I bring it back to entertainment. Look at what we have created from the 80s and 90s and what's now come out of it. Yeah. Not only that, the whole media publication side of things, newspapers, magazines, websites. There's so many things now which are available and services just for British Asians.
Yeah. Wedding industry, all of that.
We dominate the
music
UK.
industry. Yeah. British Asians are doing well.
So,
Not only, there's British Asians doing very well in pharmaceuticals. They're doing in every accountants, lawyers, doctors, you name it. British Asians are there, right?
mm-hmm.
But the fact is, the times now when you get told that you're not British, and our people get divided. They get told, oh, those who came in the 70s and 80s, they're all right, but these new ones aren't all right. And our own people fall for it. So we're made to hate our own people who came from a similar situation as us. Yeah. And so
we're too ignorant to teach them the way.
Yeah, because we ran away instead of sitting there and teaching them. But they must want to learn as well. So it's a double trap, right? Double-edged sword, right? But then we just think, sod it, man. I've just moved to Garrett's Cross. My asshole touched room, marna.
That's
Yeah,
true.
my child's room, marna.
Yeah.
So that's what they think.
It's like Valette anyway.
Yeah. And so let's go. And then once that becomes like Jalandhar Cross, then people move out of there.
It already is.
Yeah.
We're talking about how you go
then
down
people
there.
move out of there. Because guess what they'll say? नहीं इत्थे अपने बहुत हो गए हन. Well, you know,
Why'd you move there?
yeah,
The reason.
you moved there. You created the whole trend.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have you got any advice for, people as a whole in our community?
Yeah,
Like-
man. I'll tell you this.
Like, because I think there's a lot of division these days amongst cultures, religions and stuff, especially in 2026, man. Is there anything you can say out to the audience out there where, you can, give your bit of...
Yeah, don't fall into the politics of hate. Yeah. When you're born, you're not taught to hate. Yeah. Everyone's equal. Kids treat each other. If you see kids in a playground, yeah, or like little babe toddlers, yeah, they're just pee-buying. They're right. This hate is taught. It's taught in houses. It's taught at dining tables. Yeah. We're taught to hate X amount of people. Yeah. Right. Let's not even cut Gori out the equation. Yeah. We're bad in ourselves. Look at how much we stereotype Kale. We've always stereotyped Kale. Kale choria, attack karuge. Kalean the area ch nahi jana. है ना ये थानू चाकू मार दोगे. Whether people agree or not, that's exactly the stereotypical views that we grew up with. Yeah. Look at the way we treat people our own people, same color with us, same color of blood as us. Yeah. Whether they're from a low caste. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ਇਹ ਇਸ ਕਾਸਟ ਦੇ ਆ ਇਹ ਇਦਾਂ ਆ ਇਹ ਇਦਾਂ ਆ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬਰਾਬਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਚੇ ਆ. That's taught, and that's in people's mindset here, born here in the UK. You still have that mindset. Everyone should be proud of what they are. If I'm a Jat, I'm proud of my Jat. Yeah? If someone else is a Tarkhan, they should be proud of what they are. Yeah. If someone else is from any other Ravidasya community, you should be proud of what you are. But you shouldn't discriminate on the basis of it. Yeah. Me being one certain aspect of some sort of race, yeah, or caste, does not, which I'm not anymore, right? Because I don't do that job here in the UK. Yeah. My dad didn't do that job in here anyway. Yeah. We're all just labourers, really. Children of migrant workers. Yeah. Children of immigrants. Like we started off this whole conversation with
100%.
this, right? We're from an immigrant community, right? If I say no, I'm better than them because of what my granddad used to do. No, you're not. When you discriminate and then give people more opportunities than other people because of the basis of something like caste, that's discrimination. When people have an advantage because they belong to a certain group or not. Yeah. And if you want equality for on par with the Gore, yeah, you've got to stamp out the inequality in your own thing first.
Mm-hmm.
I was taught, yeah, that Harjap, you got to, before you look over the fences at other people's gardens and see how dirty they are, pehla apna dekh, pehla apna tera saaf howe. And Safai always starts from home. Yeah?
Yeah.
If your house was full of muddy prints and liquids all over the place, chocolate and all of that shit, and your garden had shit in there, yeah, do you have a right to look at other people's gardens and say, "Thada ta garden ganda hai"? Doesn't, does it?
No.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep your own soch clean. Keep your own areas clean. Forget this politics of nafrat. Yeah. To the racists, we're all darkies, mate. We're all Pakis and we're all Kale. They don't care. They don't care whether you're from Pakistan or whether I'm from India. Right. So there's a politics of hate going on now. Recognize that. Don't believe into what the media feed you. The media is owned by billionaires. They're just doing what their bosses tell them to do. The billionaires are invested in having poor people fight each other. How are they going to cream off the top? If the poor people wake up and realize that the billionaires are looting us and they're hoarding wealth when children are starving or children can't get school meals or people can't get council houses, yeah, people are sleeping on the streets, yeah, it's always the billionaires, media, who are screaming, look, what about our own homeless, yeah? Why doesn't a billionaire make them houses and take them off? No, they're too busy creating more billions. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੰਨਾ ਪੈਸਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ war veterans ਨੂੰ help ਕਰੋ, yeah? Instead of no, why blame the immigrants who come here with nothing, yeah? And just want to work, basically, yeah? Right. They're driving your Ubers, they're driving your Uber Eats, they come and deliver your food, they're looking after your elderly, yeah? They're your security guards, they're your cleaners, all these jobs which British people don't want to do, yeah? So forget this politics of hate. Stop hating each other. Realize that we should all be unified. When you present a unified front, governments listen to you. Numbers count. If your numbers are split, the government won't listen to you. If I've got 4 groups of 250,000, I don't care about each group. Yeah. If there's 1 million, one group of 1 million people, man, that's a big voice. The government listen to you. They listen to vote banks. They listen to voices.
It's like
And recognize the bad people in our community who use you to get up to top and to get into positions of power, yet don't do nothing.
Yeah.
Look how many Asian MPs we got.
100%.
What have they really done for us?
It's just for the stamp.
Bro, what have
Same
they
with
done
the
for
mayors.
us?
The
What have
mayor
they done for
elections
us?
is the same thing.
Nothing. What have they done for us?
It's for themselves.
Bro, they can't even call out genocides. They can't even call out
They won't
genocides.
because they get kicked out and then they.
Bro, ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕੁਛ.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with
They
you.
yes sir, no sir. They just say what their party leaders does and hope that they get a position in government. They're not there for your fada. Same for the councillors. They're not there for our fada.
They're only there for their own feather.
Yeah, exactly right. And you've seen the loads because loads come to your radio
Mate,
station.
I've
Right?
done electoral. I've done hustings myself, and I tell you now, I see some of the things they say, and I've cussed them, and I'm just like, you don't have any idea of what your policies are.
Nothing.
Anyone that it comes from,
Just they want to say, oh, Dory, I want to say this, I want to
yes,
say that.
basically, yeah. But it's like comes back to the saying of united we stand, divided we fall,
Listen,
and that's a big thing.
and unite with the good people.
Correct.
I'm not just saying all brown people unite. Unite all the good people unite against all the bad. There's more of us than there is of them. That's a fact. There's more good people in this world than there are bad, and that's what we need to do.
And
We need to unite and overpower them.
what is your message to viewers back home on how we are currently, what the current state of affairs are in the UK? How
Well,
should
you
they
can
handle
see how it is every day. They blame immigrants for everything, right? You can't get a council house, blame an immigrant. Yeah, your child can't get a place at school, blame an immigrant. Yeah? You can't get a job, blame an immigrant. Your benefits are cut, blame an immigrant. You can't get an NHS appointment, blame an immigrant. Yeah, your roads have got potholes in it, blame the immigrants. Everything is blamed on immigrants. Yeah, you haven't got an education, blame an immigrant.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, everything is blamed on an immigrant.
Mhm.
This is just the way it's going to go when you have the rise of populist ideologies like right-wing fascism, it's like, or racism. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's going to rise like that. Yeah, this is the way it is. Look for countries that are migrant friendly, man, and go there where you'll be respected, where you can have a life. Here, you've seen the way it's going here. They're talking about cancelling indefinite leave to remain, i.e., some of our grandparents have still got an Indian passport, Pakistani passport with the Pakki stamp in it. They're thinking of cancelling that.
Mm.
Right? So now, after my or your parents or whatever your grandparents have been here 60 years, what are they going to do? Put them on a plane back home? Yeah. They're thinking of cutting the pensions for people who aren't British. Even if you've got permanent here, been here 60 years. Yeah.
Mm.
They're thinking of selling off the NHS. Yeah. This is the stuff that's going to... And what you've got is in a Labour Party, they're trying to out-reform.
Mm.
So they're getting even more harder. And then where are we going to end up in this? It's just crazy. So
Right now it's a bit of a dark hole, but
it's a dark hole. But it's all right. We've survived so far. And we'll fight as we do. We need to raise a voice. We need to make sure our voices are all singing the same tunes.
and for those viewers in that camera right there, if they need immigration advice,
Oh, man. As long as you're not trying to put a fake story or something.
just don't
Yeah,
be too
trying to marry-
open. Just be a bit.
yeah, trying to marry your ਪੁੱਠੀ ਸਿੱਧੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਾ ਕੇ ਕਰਿਓ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹਰਜਾਪ ਨੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸੁਣਾਤੀਆਂ. But yeah, so basically, by all means, yeah. I think people say, Harjap, describe yourself.
Yeah.
And I said, well, have you seen Breaking Bad? And they go, yeah. And I said, you know, Better Call Saul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Saul Goodman. I said, I'm the Asian version of that. Any problems, better call Harjap.
Yeah.
Better call Harjap. Better call Harjap.
I see that.
Yeah. Harjap, I had a fight with my missus. I better call you.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, Harjap, the police are coming and raided my house. Better call Harjap.
Well, you might as well be immigration lawyer as well as
I had an accident at work.
therapist.
Yeah, love doctor.
You love doctor.
Yeah, Harjap broke up with my girlfriend. You know, what am I supposed to do about it? You know what I mean? Better call Harjap.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man. Love
I
doctor.
literally had to advise someone once on TV how to bring his wife. But they are like, love you, God, for like it there. And it was got like it, yeah. You've all seen the clip, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's not my job. I'm not a love doctor, but then, you know, what can you do? Just try and help everyone that we can. And that's it. And just try and help these people. A lot of these people are misguided. But I always say one thing, and this is the thing I leave you with, yeah? It doesn't matter what the problem is. The answer is always education. And this is what these podcasts do. And this is what people do, these podcasts should do, is we should educate the public.
That's what
We
we
should talk about real issues. That's what we do. Educate the public. It's only through education. It will solve every problem. Yeah, whether you're people coming over from India who don't behave right, educate them. whether British people who are racist towards you, education. That's the only thing that's going to solve this. So education is the answer to all of life's problems. That's what it is.
Amazing last message.
Harjap, just before we go, I saw you last year at a charity event.
Yep.
And it was an amazing event. Could you just let the people know what that was about?
Yeah. So I champion an orphanage for girls in Punjab called Unique Home for Girls, Jalandhar. What it is, it's an orphanage opened by an orphan herself, Bibi Prakash Kaur. What she does is, unfortunately, back home, that we still have an issue with baby girls being not wanted and being killed and being murdered or abandoned. So she actually brings these kids up, and she goes and saves these kids when they're babies and raises them until they're adults, gets them educated. And she does that without a single penny's help from the government. It's all run on donations. So I went there once, and actually I was on my TV show and someone messaged me. They go, "You're always doing a lot for charity. Have you ever been to this one?" And I said, "No, I haven't." They go, "When you go India, Jalandhar, go there." So I was with my friend Jag Chima. I remember the other day I was supposed to go, and I said, "Jag, I've got to go to this place. I promised someone I've got to go to this place. We'll probably be there 10 minutes. And he goes, "Oh, no, man, I want to go. We'll go and have a bottle, right?" And I said, "Yeah, we'll do that later." But man, I promised to do my John out. So I carted him along with his sad face and all that there, yeah. We went there. We were supposed to stay there 10 minutes. We stayed there for about 3 hours. We saw all these baby girls that had been abandoned there, man. We saw one girl there that was being eaten by a dog. And Bibi had pulled her out from a dog's mouth and rescued her. When Bibi found her, she was being eaten by a dog, bro, in a dustbin. Little baby, aged maybe 1 day old or something.
That's so cool.
We've seen another one who'd been left on a railway track to be run over by a train. Bibi saved her. Another one was found thrown in a well, an empty well, and was left there. When the baby was crying, someone heard it. Then Bibi went rushing to the well, sent someone down with a rope and literally pulled the baby up and brought them up. So I don't judge people. I did first. I don't judge people for abandoning their children. I mean, I could never do it. You could probably never do it. But koi ਏਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਜਬੂਰੀ ho where they have to abandon their kids, right? No one wants to abandon their kid. But that's the culture we come from. We can't claim we come from a balle balle culture, Punjabiyan di shaan vakri and all of that, when this is happening right on our doorstep. I'm sorry, but whenever those songs come on, I always sit down and laugh. And I'll say, all these people dancing there, they're not a reality. I'll take you to Unique Home. So Bibi relies on funding and donations from US, UK, Australia, New Zealand. The UK is the country from where the most money goes. So we raise money for us. So last year, well, I've been doing it for about a good 10 odd years now. We do fundraisers in the Midlands or in London. So in London, we're doing it every 2 years in West London, where we raise money and all the proceeds go there. And last year we raised £88,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's usually in April we do the event because the girls' orphanage's birthday is on April the 24th. So when that coincides, it's really good.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So then, she's an amazing woman. It's an amazing cause. And I always would advise people, look, it's great to be proud of your heritage and back home and where you're from, but don't deny the reality of it. Look at the reality as well. Yeah, everything's not rosy. Yeah, and you've got to go there, realize that, and let's try and help as many people as we can.
And you got the event this year?
I've got it next year.
Next year.
Yeah. So we just did an event in Birmingham. We're going to do one next year in West London, and then one in the Midlands, like in Birmingham or Wolverhampton. So we usually do it for about 600 people. Last time we done it in Heston Hyde Hotel.
Yeah.
So this time we'll probably do it in Heston Hyde Hotel. We have live acts. We have an auction. We have a raffle. We have great stuff. All the stalls and everything. It's better than a wedding.
Yeah. Honestly,
it is better than a wedding.
We'll come.
You went in it. Yeah, definitely.
We'll be there.
More than happy to come. We have a mixed crowd, so it's not all boys. Yeah, and we have a very good sort of ratio, and we have families.
It's what it's all about. Families. It's an environment where you're spreading a good message.
Oh, it's a good message. And I always say to people, don't take my word for it. If anyone who goes to Jalandhar, go there. Go to Unique Home for Girls in Jalandhar. It's on Nakodar Road. Go and see their meet Bibi yourself. It changes your life. That moment changed my life. So
we'll put their details on the screen.
Yeah. So they're a great cause. Please help them. It's no point, I always say, donating to charities have already got millions in the bank. Those with millions in the bank should spend their millions first before asking for more funds. Instead, what you get is you get these same charities going on TV and radio station. They've got millions in the bank and they're still munging all the time, 24 घंटे. And you feel like, bro, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੱਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਗੇ पर खर्चने का तो पैसे oh no आप बचा के रखे
What's their nokri, man? Munging is
yeah
It's like a building fund.
bro, it's amazing. It never but the building never gets built. Yeah. Right, so you got 20 साल तो थोड़ी building ही नहीं पूरी हुई. What these builders should have called my Fodgy boys over.
Yeah, exactly.
They would have done it in a week. right. So I always say, look, give it to the people that need your money. And before you give money, it's your total right to go and research and check the place out, check the organisation out, see where your money's going to, and make sure it's all transparent. So with that charity, I'm a lawyer. Everything I do, I check. It's my job to make sure it's all proper. There's nothing wrong in it. And that's what we do. So I checked the charity out, checked all their funds, checked the funding, checked the money was being spent exactly where it said it was. And it was. Bibi hasn't got any children of her own. She's not married. So who's she going to give it to? No one. So she's got this amazing orphanage. We've just managed to buy another bit of land there. We're building a centre for disabled kids there because a lot of the kids that are abandoned, some of them don't have arms, some of them don't have legs. People don't want a disabled child in India. So special needs section we're making there. We've made a digital library for them. So a computerized library. You know, there's lots of stuff there that we're doing. And it's just to save girls, basically, in a mentality of a country which still, unfortunately, although they pray to a woman goddess, they abandon baby girls. I've never really got that around my head, how that happens.
Yeah, because they always say, "Tuadi Lakshmi hoyi nahi," hai na?
Yeah, oh yeah, Mata hai, yeah, Devi hai. Utthe ja odi puja karni hai. ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਧੀ ਜੰਮਦੀ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰੇਲਵੇ ਪਟੜੀ ਤੇ ਸਿੱਟ ਦਿਓ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਖੂਹ 'ਚ ਸਿੱਟ ਦਿਓ so it's sad. It is sad.
Very.
I've always find it hard, and that's why, like I said, I used to be very black and white first. Now there's a lot of grey area. As you grow older, you'll all find that your vichar will change. If you reach the age of 40 or 50 and you've still got the same views that you had 20, 30 years ago, then you've just wasted 20, 30 years.
Not learned anything.
You've not learned anything. And once again, what's the answer to that problem? Education. Education. So education is the answer to everything. But please, any of you that want to attend the event next year, just give me a shout. Or any of you in Jalandhar beforehand, go over there, see it yourself, see what's happening. And I guarantee once you visit that place, your life will be changed. Your whole mindset will be changed. It definitely changed mine. And I'm sure it will change yours.
Good, definitely will have to pay a visit.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll do it as part of our
definitely.
projects. We do a lot of charity work anyway, so
brilliant.
Do it as part of our projects.
Of course. So you should, like I said, always please.
And the Inner Circle podcast is about this. It's like, you know what I explained to you. It's all about education. It's not just entertainment and comedy and the
well, we call it infotainment.
Yeah.
So you get information and you have entertainment.
Yeah.
You don't. Education doesn't have to be boring.
No.
Yeah.
We have a laugh about a lot.
Look at me. I spent 20 years making educating the public and making it fun. So
and still you get asked stupid questions.
Mate, it hasn't finished yet. So it's like
and the words of her.
And I'm glad you've done it, man. I'm glad you've done this podcast. And I'm glad that the next generation is actually taking these issues seriously and realizing we do have problems.
But we're doing it for the right reasons, and I'm only here to like vocalize it and just depict it. Let's just talk about it.
Yeah, I'm glad. Listen, you're not doing it for clicks and likes. A lot of the stuff on social media, like I see, 95% of it is done for clicks and likes. Yeah, so that's something else. That's people don't strive for excellence; they strive for success. Yeah, and that's where they get caught out. If you're excellent, success follows. If you're excellent at what you do, success will follow you.
I hope so, man.
Yeah, no, it will. You just got to be excellent and true at what you do.
I appreciate it.
If you go for just like the clicks and likes, bro, people come, people go. There are people like who were famous for 5 minutes 5 years ago. No one even knows who they are.
That's right.
Yeah. So if you want to play consistency, it's all about do it for the right reasons.
That's what we're doing it for, man.
Do it for the right reasons. Yeah.
But Harjap, I have to say thank you so much.
No, thank you, guys.
It's been an amazing chat with you, man. Honestly, it's a good laugh, and it's good to see you after so long.
It is. Yeah. I think the last time I saw you was the kid.
Yeah. I grow a beard now.
Yeah, no,
so it's been a long time.
So
well, to avoid the grey area and the grey hair.
That's right. I've got plenty of grey area now. Yeah. But no,
Harjap, man, thanks very much. It was really good, and just want to say to the viewers, thank you very much for watching the Inner Circle podcast. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our social media pages on TikTok and Instagram. We're going to be posting loads of shorts. Make sure you share it. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your families to tell their friends and their friend and this person and that person. And, you know,
Tell him Harjap was on.
Tell him Harjap was on.
Tell him Harjap was on, and he was handing out free visas.
Done,
done, mate.
We've hit a million.
Yeah, you'll hit a million. Done.
Hit a million.
Yeah.
But thanks, Harjap. Thank you very much.
No problem,
Thank you,
man.
Guj. It's been a great episode. Signing out.
Take care.